What is a good people? How we doing? How we doing today? First things first, you already know I gotta make sure my sound is not great value. So okay, perfect. We're doing great with sound. How we doing today, people? First of all, shout out to you for being here. The 30 of you guys, I guess, that only watch this. Thank you. Enough. All right. Yeah. So, yeah. For those of you guys, absolutely. I don't know what you guys are drinking tonight. And I promise I'm not promoting alcoholism, but sometimes when you cover some of these fake gurus, I mean, sometimes it gets to you, all right? But this is me. I'm a casual drinker and I'm a casual smoker, all right? This is what I do. I tell y'all, I ain't shit, all right? I have my vices too. I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be someone who's perfect or anything like that. So unlike other people I know from other streams, which we'll cover briefly, but, you know, not too briefly because today's stream is not about him, okay? Does it sound like I'm slurring my words? Okay, because this is about to be fire today. So please, let's go ahead and quickly address kind of what went down. I'm not beefing with Lord Marquand. He's for I don't care what side your channel is. You for me mentally too small to be beefing with. You just hey listen motherfucker, answer those questions. That's it. Like that's literally all I care about is for you to answer those questions. Okay, and you got your boys over here talking about. I was trolling your chat. That wasn't me. Okay, that's what I'm gonna address. No one was trolling your chat. No one was coming there to troll. I wasn't even alerted about it until like literally some of the people that follow me, but also follow you, were sending me messages saying, "Hey man, like I understand you don't like Saint the Sinner, but you don't need to troll him." And I'm like, what are you talking about? Who's trolling him? I didn't even know he was going live today, right? So I go in and I see a fake Duke and Don basically wreaking havoc on the chat. When I go into super chat, I'm still blocked. Okay, so I go to my personal account and I super chat twice, letting you know that it wasn't me, and you still let that run on. And I want y'all to pay attention to that too as well. He still let all of that run on, which is crazy. Listen, I was just like, okay, fine. So I'm going in because some of you guys, I understand that you guys are thinking that it's me in the fucking chat and whatnot. Literally, I had to go live to basically break that down to let y'all know that wasn't me, okay? And all this dumb shit that he was saying, it wasn't me. And here's the crazy thing. If I'm the one that's so scared and I'm the one who's not afraid, why'd you take the live stream down, dog? Like, you just did it today, but you took it down. Why? Like, if you didn't want to explain yourself or have everything, why'd you take it down? So, and you don't believe me, he took it down. I'm not joking, dog. This dude, hold on, let me just share this with y'all so y'all would know. Y'all would know. Just to let y'all know this. Like, I'm not even kidding. Right here. Look at this. Right here. Oh, for those of you guys who are asking the question of why I did this, first of all, when I was on his stream, basically trying to explain the fact that it wasn't me trolling, here his fans come in talking about, oh, I got my tech guys on it. We're going to go ahead and make sure he gets canceled. Give it about 24 hours. Okay. All right. So when I saw that, of course, I'm going to screenshot that bitch. Are you kidding me? But look at this shit. Where's the live stream? Hey, Saint. Where's the live stream, bro? Where's the live stream? Where is it? You just did it, right? You just basically made the bag and left because you was lying through that fucking whole stream. You lied through that entire stream. Hey, where do I work? If that's the real you, for a real university. Yeah, that's what I work for, a real university, you faker, if that's the real you. But we all know that's probably a troll, and I don't give a shit. But that's what it is. I'm doing what you wish you were doing. I have the background that you wish you have. All like you, I don't need to come up here and pretend that I'm something I'm not. I don't need to come up here and pretend that I created a fucking tech company. Meanwhile, you didn't. So just answer the question, bro. Answer the question? I'll answer that when you give me the source codes. I'll answer that when you give me the source codes, right? I'll answer that when you provide the source code. Let's talk offline. Let's talk offline. Give me the source codes to your company. We can even have lawyers involved. Like, I'm more than welcome to share this with you. I got no problem with it. I really don't. Go ahead and okay, so you're a troll. That's just what it is. You're a troll. You're a troll. But I just wanted to make that known because like I just thought it was ridiculous. And I also thought it was kind of funny that he took the live stream down. He made a bag off of y'all off of a troll pretending to be me and then ran off and hid the live. You're not even mad enough to let that stand. All that shit you was talking, you took it down. Why did you take it down? What? No. Why you take it? I answered your question. No, you're the one who are avoiding questions. And that's not even the real you. So we're not even talking about that. The real you, go ahead and email me. We'll send a link. You can pull up. We'll talk with. Hey, if you pull up, come with the receipts and we'll talk live. But no, we're not gonna do that because I know how you trolls on the chat play. And hey, Lemonade Bay, if that was fucking you over there trolling in the chat, you need to stop that fucking shit. Hey, we not that dumb, motherfucker. We know who niggas are. Like, even if you a troll, we know who the fuck you are. Like, don't play, nigga. We got skills. Like, I don't get what you guys don't understand about this. Okay, with great power comes great responsibility, and we don't do that. All right, we don't go in there and fuck with other people's streams. Don't fucking do that. That is not cool. And don't, above all else, pretend to be us going to other people's streams and fucking with them. That's not cool. Okay, so you need to cut that shit out. You're not funny. You're not slick. All right, and don't get me to start pushing in on your ass. Stop trolling niggas. It's not funny. Back to it. Put that stream back up, bro. Put that stream back up. I don't know, because you were talking a whole hell of a lot of shit about a lot of people, bro. But yeah, I'm the coward. Why'd you take it down? Why'd you take it down? On that shit you was talking, I was going to review it a little bit, but like you took it down, so I can't. I just want you to know, ain't nobody trolling you. If you want me, unblock me, and I'm going to come in your chat, and we're going to talk. Or I don't even have to. Just send me a link, and let's talk. I just have questions, dog. If you want these questions, send me a link. Let's talk. I'm not talking to you on chat. Send me a link, because you've lost your credibility, bro. That's just what it is. Answer the fucking questions. And I got more receipts, too. I just need some questions answered, okay? Me and the 30 people watching have questions, dog, and they're gonna keep coming. They're gonna keep coming. And no, Lante, I know it's a troll. It's probably Lemonade Bay. If you see that account, ban it. You're done. I don't give a fuck, bro. Fuck fucking Salvo. He's a bitch. And I ain't got a problem with that Salvo guy, if that is not you. But hey, I'm not fucking shouting out niggas that are part of dumb shit. You're playing games with other people's streams. We don't troll, so don't ever fucking do that to other people. We can fight based off of our merits. And if we need to go there, we won't, because we don't need to. The truth can stand on itself. The same truth that Lord Maquad cannot answer by himself. Just answer the question, dog. Quit running. Just answer it. How did you get out of the investments with your company without you actually being the CEO of it? You claimed that you were the CEO, but on paper, you were not. So the CEO, was it your girl? Who's that girl talking behind you? And I Jack, bro, I'm gonna be real. Listen to your podcast and shit. One thing I'm gonna say is she's got a really sexy voice. Like, I mean, she's got a really sexy ass voice. But I want to know if the face matches. I really think she might be attractive. But I don't think she's the one that was called the CEO of your company. Now, is she? If she is, let's see who she is. Who's the one behind the scenes talking? Who's that chick that was the CEO that you ended up finessing the deal out of, that you didn't have to worry about your investors, and they took all the hit? But then where did the money go? Then you also claimed that you went on vacations costing $200,000 plus. You counted cash on stream that was $200,000 plus. Where did that money come from? You also mentioned in past streams that your business was losing millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars a month or a year, whatever it is. You were losing, right? Where's the profit and loss statements? Where's your balance sheets? I want to see how your cash flow worked. Where's all of that? I'm just asking basic business questions. Am I crazy for asking those? Am I crazy? No, it's just simple questions. If you lost money, the business lost money, that means that if you were going to go ahead and sell it or move it, right, there would be record of that. Where is it? Oh, but no, it's all hitting under light labeling, right? Nigga, like, I don't know what else to say to you, bro. Like, just provide the receipts, okay? And we can stop this. But yeah, put that live stream back up. See, you fake gurus have a way of just like hiding. You just like you just expose yourself, but you hit it. You finessed a bunch of dudes off of fake troll and dipped with the bag. And you telling me these dudes ain't dumb for donating, bro? Y'all were literally super chatting to fight someone that wasn't even watching your stream. Like, that's crazy to me. Kind of cloud. So what exactly is the point about you asking about this stuff? The point of me asking about this stuff is that, first of all, I get super chats and I get emails and DMs of people pretty much referencing these guys, okay, to basically talk about him. He wasn't even on my radar until like the whole Kevin Samuel things broke out, because then I spotted a hypocrite. That's it. The only time I talk about niggas is when they're being hypocritical. And I've never talked about Saint the Sinner. No matter how many people have been recommending me to do it, I haven't brought up content on him until that situation with Kevin Samuels, which he was being a hypocrite. So I called him out on it. And when I called them out on it, and before I call people out, before I even go at a content creator, my process is I research them. I go back years. I look at what they're saying. I basically tally it up to what they do. And then I listen to the words and the ideas that they're putting out there. And then based off of what I see, I basically make a value judgment. And during my research process, after that, because I made my first Kevin Samuels video with him, with him talking shit about Kevin Samuels, making videos about another man that had over 300,000 views, talking all that stuff. Yet when he actually had the shot to do it, they took a selfie. So I'm going to just skirt that. But okay, fine. That came aside. I have questions now because there are additional stuff that is popping up that requires your attention. Because I know most people who are following him don't really understand how technology works, or realistically how tech companies operate, or even how software engineers or people who actually work in this field operate. I know a lot of people that follow him don't know that. So when they listen to him talk about him being a tech genius, he being a tech inventor, I have clips of that too, him saying he's an inventor. When he was talking about that Fox News article, or not Fox News video that I put up, the reason I played that Fox News video, because when he was bringing up that iBeacon app, he said he invented it. He didn't. He didn't. And those were the questions I had. I'm like, okay, well, what is this if you didn't invent this? Was this a wordplay? Was this some kind of like fucking lingo? Like, what is this? Hang on real quick. Just answer the question. Like, I would have honestly just left it alone if he just, like, any legitimate reason at all. It'd have been fine. But they blocked me. So I'm just like, all right, cool. The fans wanted a video. I gave them a video of my findings. And apparently those questions were cutting deep, because then it flies in the face of everything that he's been saying. He's just a glorified drop shipper. There's nothing wrong with that. I've dropped shipped too. I've done that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a viable business model. And it seems like he's replicating that for you guys in his streams. That's perfectly fine. But my thing is, I don't like, see, I work in tech. I actually work in tech, and the stuff we work with Blackboard applications. So that's why he actually stuck out to me when he had a company that was supposed to compete with Blackboard that he was selling to universities, and it was right up my alley. I had to know about it. I had to figure out what this is. And when I looked into it, just being a fellow expert, I had questions. Like, I don't know what the fuck you want me to say. It just didn't make any sense. So I had questions. How does this work? And this iBeacon thing, it seems pretty freaking redundant. Like, why would you even need this? Like, why would universities already need this? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Why would college students really need an iBeacon app? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And on top of that, even with the background, and I've had failed businesses too. I've had failed companies. I don't know, don't get it twisted. Like, I'm a failure too, but it's good. So I don't disagree with that. But my thing is, okay, as someone who's had that, there should be some form of trail, right? You said you invented this. There should be some form of trail. But back to that Fox News video that he likes to say that it was played, but like I was on Fox News. He's making you guys focus on the clout aspect that it's Fox News. But it's Fox News Ozark where you submit stories to, which he paid for. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Market yourself, bruh. Market yourself. I support that. But you held that device and said you invented it. You lied to Fox News, and by definition, the 4,000 people that saw it. The university in China you actually spoke for, that wasn't the Chinese government. I mean, they own the universities, they own everything, but realistically, it was a college. It wasn't the government that rolled out a red carpet for you the way you like to pitch it. It was just a university where you were trying to get money for the company. That's fine. But in that pitch, you said you invented the iBeacon. You lied to them too. And then what's worst of all, and just to get to your question, the answer to your question, Counter Loud Civic, realistically, I don't appreciate the fact that he brags about his success knowing the times we're in right now, which we know for a fact now it's not genuine, and lording it over his audience in a cult-like manner. Basically, it's just the fact that you guys can't see it's crazy. He's telling you that he's better than you with the money that you're paying him. That's ridiculous. And we'll call out anybody that does that shit. I have skills. I have a career in the real world. But like the only reason I hadn't had to bring all this shit out just to call y'all motherfuckers out so it wouldn't be like, hey, you're not genuine, bro. But it's like, other than that, I don't need to brag. I don't need to do shit. I'll just be me cooling and talking. That's what it's always been about. And yes, even though we call niggas out, the reason why people stick here, because the message is there. I don't bullshit people. I don't need to. I could. I got the credit for it. I definitely got the bread. I'm maybe not Saint the Sinner's bread. I don't know how much bread he's packing, but I definitely got money. I'm not broke. I'm fine. I'm cool. So it's easy to come out here and really just pretend to be something I'm not, but I don't need to. But from one person who can spot bullshit to another, I just read that and say, okay, there are men who actually really believe in this man. Why are you sitting there fucking shitting on them? If they ask questions, you're calling them scammers. You call them, what not scammers, you call them haters and fakes and trolls and shit like that. They just have questions. They're paying you. You blocked me. You've blocked me from the start. I have nothing else to say to that. From the one question I asked, dog, the one question, you blocked me. I don't know what else to tell you. And you've blocked me ever since. And the one thing I want y'all to pay attention to is this motherfucker, even after knowing, because I went on there with my Drew Duca account. Like, literally, that was my personal account. All right, go on there. I went on there and told you. I super chatted you twice. I said it wasn't me. You knew that. And you still went on, even after the troll exposed himself, that it's saying that he wasn't a troll. And why did you go on with it? Because you already galvanized your audience to feel that fervor, that anger, to come at somebody that's just asking questions about your background. Like, nigga, what? But they already felt it and they were donating money. You and your sexy ass girl in the back, right? You and her. Hold on. Getting too ahead of myself. In the back, egging that shit on. Like, making money off these dudes, thinking they coming at a guy that I was literally unable to comment in your chat. And I know I'm not going to create another account to do it because I don't have the time. If you block me, I don't go where I'm not wanted. But if my audience that follow you as well, because we have cross audiences, and I've said that, if they've come to me telling me, yo, like I fuck with you, but like you don't need to troll them. And I'm like, what? I'm not trolling nobody. And I get enough of that, then I have to say something, because then it's a thing about reputation. And I know you guys who have been with us from the start, you know, we're not on that bullshit. We've never been on that bullshit. But it's just for the new guys coming in so you guys understand. And just so you guys know, I'm going to show you guys again. I'm going to show you guys the screen. No one is running. No one is actually running. The only person that's running is your boss, Kind of Loud Civic, because it seems like he took the live stream down immediately. Like, even let it breathe, right? You can't tell me the last thing posted was a day ago, because that don't make no sense. He took it down. So who's the coward? Like, I never run, but these niggas always run, yet y'all come at me. Like, this doesn't make any sense. I'm ready to take you on, but you blocked me. Like, what are we doing? I don't listen. I don't like you talk about, and I saw some of you in the chat were talking about, oh, you're just mad because you don't get as much super chat. Like, the day ones can let y'all know right now in the chat and comment section. I have never once asked my audiences for super chats at all. Matter of fact, I never asked y'all for anything but like the video. I never asked y'all for tuition. I never asked y'all to buy a book. I never asked y'all for any training programs. I literally just come in here and point what I see that's wrong and talk about it. No, y'all, like, literally, ask the people in the chat. Ask the people in the comment section. When have I ever asked y'all for money? Because I don't need it. I'm cool in my regular life. I actually enjoy being out here and talking to you guys. I can have long streams without getting a dime, but just spending time with y'all, that's perfect. It's like a home away from home. I get to sit down, unwind from the long day, got a nice drink, yes, and I'm not promoting alcohol. I just like to have a nice little glass of champagne after I'm done with a hard day at work. Is anything wrong with that? Some people like to smoke weed. I do too. I'm honest about it. I'm not pretending to be perfect. I'm just a normal guy. I have a 9-to-5 job. I just come up here and just talk about shit that don't make sense, but helping it make sense to other people. That's it. That's it. I've never once asked for money, but you guys support me. And because you guys supported me from the super chats we never begged for, we build studios based off of that. Off of me not asking anybody for anything, we build studios. So just keeping that in mind. Like, I've never asked for a thing, yet y'all come in here with the opposite argument. So y'all got to understand who's really out here for y'all. Kind of Loud Civic. I don't need to pretend to have y'all listen to me. I don't have to pretend to be her. I don't have to wear a suit, even though I do to clown some of y'all niggas. I have, like, designer suits. I have custom made suits. Like, I have those. Like, there's a lot. See, people who have things, they don't need to come out here and actually brag about it. That's actually the first rule. That's the first rule of wealth. Like, I'm not saying I'm great value. I'm not rich. I'm just saying that I'm not rich. I'm not a rich person. I'm broke. I'm a broke fan. Okay, I'm a broke fan. But the people who have shit, they don't need to come out here and brag about the shit that they do. They don't need to have to show off their vacations and act like they're living it up. They don't have to show any of that. They just come up here and spit facts. And if your facts works, then it works. That's just it. That's all you need. Like, I don't get it. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Y'all like crazy, man. Like, I just want y'all to, like, understand. If that doesn't make any sense, Civic guy, that's just how it is. That's how that shit works around here. I just want you to. Yeah, I know it was you, and I also know what other account you use, bruh. Like, chill with that shit. Stop fucking trolling, dude. That's not cool. And especially don't do it as me. You can do it as Duke's Hairline or Curtains, but don't do it as the channel, bro. The channel's not about that. Like, you can clown me all fucking day long, bro. You can make fun of my curtains and my hairline. I don't care. Just don't troll with other people's account. Like, real talk. That's not funny. That's some weak shit. And you know that's something that we won't do. I don't even go on people's lives like that. If I have to, it's only if I have questions. That's the only time you will ever see me on anybody's lives. Because realistically, a lot of these Manosphere dudes, I really genuinely don't care about them, right? Except for a few, and that's a small few. And that few is O'Shea Duke Jackson's number one. First of all, any one of y'all motherfuckers say some dumb shit, and I know some of y'all with some live streams that said that about this motherfucker O'Shea, I'm coming for y'all. O'Shea's truth. Hands down. He's the G, and we respect him out here because he really built the space that he unfortunately had to leave. So that's the number one person out of anything, dude, I will rock with. And the kind of things that he's building overseas, especially with the movie industry, the production stuff that he's trying to do over there. I'm sad to see one of his colleagues dying, Kim the Comic. But realistically, this man is putting a lot of work, and I see him going further with kind of stuff that has, and he didn't deserve the disrespect he got. So O'Shea, 100% I fuck with. I fuck with Angry Man too. And this chat, this community fucks with Angry Man. But we know how Marquette Devon Burton feels about the cigar smoking. So, I mean, we know niggas are just fake, talk behind your back, then take the live stream down. Okay. We fuck with Angry Man. That's our nigga too. We fuck with Pocket Watcher. And we fuck with TLA. That's it. That's really it. And maybe MTR. Maybe. That's pretty much it. Those are the only niggas we fuck with in this space. Like, we don't really fuck with anybody else because the majority of y'all motherfuckers are fake. And Steve Dean Williams. Shout out to him. We fuck with Steve too. But other than that, majority of y'all niggas are just wild to me. Y'all just unimportant. Not really worth doing anything with. Not really worth it. Everyone else, you guys are just phony people. Like you're not about what you say you're about. You come out here, you lord, and you do all these different things. Like, stop. RPT says, I'm Hispanic, but I love O'Shea's content. Oh yeah, like he brings a lot of joy to this space, man. Like he brings a lot of joy to this space. He's a good dude, man, and I still consider him as part of the space. You can't fuck with O'Shea, man. You really can't. But this ain't the center. Oh shit, self-made. Shout out to you for the $5 super chat. Duke never asked for any super chat or had to make a course from a black pillar who holds scammers accountable. We wouldn't mess with Duke and Don. That's facts. And that's another thing these guys don't know. While they're in their own echo chambers, we don't have to build echo chambers. We've never had to. We've got everybody from every corner of the manosphere here rocking with us. Even guys that rock with Saint the Sinner. So how am I a fucking hater? Like, we have everyone. While you have your echo chambers, we have everyone. Go look at our catalog, bro. We have everyone fucking with us. Even some of the dudes we criticize, they fuck with us. Like, chill with that shit, bro. Like, we don't ask we just ask questions. That's it. We just want to make sure if you're here to help men, you're legitimate. But if you come off sus, then we have to ask questions. From the day one, we've never asked anybody for anything, bro. Because we just need you guys to hit the like button. No, K Silent, he's right. We have 35 viewers. We have 38. Like, I don't get it. I don't get what else you want. Like, what is the point there? What seriously is the point? Like, so just because I have 38 people, I shouldn't come out and speak to them? Is it really about the clout for y'all? No. Let me just pull this up because this is crazy. Is it really about the clout for y'all? Has it always been about the clout? Because from day one, and here's the crazy thing. If it's only a live stream that's not popping with 34 or 32 viewers, why is it that your buddy's talking about it? Or why is he even paying attention to a platform that only gets 40 views? Why? Is it because the truth fucking hurts? I bet it is, because otherwise someone like Saint, the Sinner, Lord Marquardt wouldn't pay attention to a channel that only has 30 viewers, no 20 viewers, no 10 viewers. Nigga, I don't care. I don't care if there's one person watching. I don't care if there's 2 people watching. I don't care if there's 30 people watching. I don't care if there's 100 people watching. I don't care if there's 1,000 people watching. I don't care. The fact that there are people watching, that makes me want to be out here because I love dealing with people over here. That's it. There's nothing more, nothing less. But other niggas, they won't do it unless they have some kind of clout benefit off of it. I don't need, like, literally, just because there's 30 viewers, I would come out here and speak to 30 people all day, every day. I would come out here and speak to 2 people all day, every day. It's not the clout game for me. It never has been, never will. That's why we going strong. I will come up here and I will speak to the few people that are listening all day, every day. Because apparently now it seems like the small people have a really big fucking microphone now, don't we? That's called effectiveness. So the 30 little people, we got a big fucking microphone, don't we? That's why I speak to them every single day. Because sometimes there are people who just come to watch the shit because they're fake. There are people who come watch the shit because they just want to be along for the ride. And those people are NPCs and not real. Hey, why do you hide your sub count? Why do you do this? Because we filter fucks like you, because there are a lot of y'all on the internet and we only fuck with real ones. That's why we can have a small platform and a big ass fucking voice. So you coming up here and saying this don't mean shit, because we, at the end of the day, we still got the mic. Like, I don't get it. And the fact that your leader is focused on a channel that only has 35 live viewers, that's a very interesting thing. Why don't you ask him to put that live stream that he was just doing back up? Ask him to put that live stream back up. The platform with 35 viewers isn't running. We're not running. We're not hiding. But yet the person who can get 1,000+ views took hits down, ran and tucked his tail between his legs after he took the bag off you niggas. He ran a bag off y'all niggas off of a troll that wasn't even me. I wasn't even there. And dipped and didn't even put the live stream back up. Yet I'm the one that's scared. Wow. Y'all are funny to me. Y'all are just so funny. If this doesn't show the occult and brainwash, I don't know what else does. You guys don't believe me. Go ask you, why would a channel with small 20 people watching take the live stream down? No, why? Where's it? You can't tell me the last live stream he did was a day ago, because some of y'all who are Saint the Sinners that don't want to fuck with me in here, which is fine. Go take your ball and go home. We don't care. We'll stick with the 30 people we got. We don't need you motherfuckers. All right? We don't need Saint and scammers. Listen, you can't tell me that the last video he posted was only a day ago, right? Because y'all were there. Y'all are loyal followers. The last live stream he put up was today, right? Because he was talking about some shit. So how can I basically be scared of this man if he's running away? I mean, if it was the big buddy, the guy with 1,000+ people watching the shit, it doesn't matter what a little 30 viewer per live stream would say. It wouldn't matter. All I did was ask questions that apparently hurt. And another reason why this comment is so dumb, because this comment is obviously of someone who doesn't have work ethic, someone who doesn't understand how to build a platform. Think about any young YouTuber right now with a smaller account that's coming up, and you guys, we're a network channel, so we help y'all come up. So it's not like we don't put anybody on. We put people on as best as we could, even with the platform of 35 people watching. We still put people on. What's so dumb about this comment is starting the channel from scratch. Do you know how hard it is to even get 1 person watching, 5 people watching, 8 people watching? You know how hard that shit is? You know how much content you have to be consistent in to be able to do that, to be able to get to that point where you can do that, to get those people listening? Do you know how hard it is? So people like me, when I'm successful, or I consider myself successful, I appreciate where I come from. I don't let it get above my head. I stay humble. So even if there's 35 people watching, no super chats, I will still come up here and talk to people because I am humbled. I understand that it could have been worse. I understand I could be other channels right now that didn't get a chance to be having 35 people watching. That's being humble. I'm not going to look at 35 viewers and say, oh, that's whack. You guys need to support more. You guys need to pay up more. I'm not going to do that, because this is a blessing to me, and I'll always see that as a blessing. Every live stream I do, I always thank y'all for being here. You literally could be anywhere else in the world right now, but you're here. That's gratitude. Unlike, I know you guys are not used to that because you guys come from channels that don't appreciate what they got, and they always have to have the next best thing, and they always have to lord over shit. I don't need to do that. And listen, Marquand, I know most of the trolls you're used to dealing with, or most of the people who criticize you that you're used to dealing with, are faceless. But I'm right here. So it's hard to run away from this shit. It's hard to just write me off as some kind of faceless troll, because I'm not. I'm right here. You can come find me. Like, y'all don't understand gratitude, man. That's gratitude. So what is 35 people watching? I'm grateful. And as long as I'm consistent, and I know I will be, That 35 will change. Because as long as I'm consistent, that's what's. I already know what it takes to be successful. So I don't need to come out here and brag. I don't even need to come out here and brag about successes. I don't need to do that. I just talk and I drink and occasionally I smoke. I'm just a nigga, dude. I just do shit. I just do shit out here. That's just what it is. Truth ain't gotta hide, bro. I don't have to be fancy with it. I don't have to do any of that. Nah, don't bless my channel, dog. Just leave. And this wasn't about you. This was addressing you. But it seems like I really blessed your channel, Marquette. If that's a real you, it's a troll. But let me just give you this. Let me just give you this, right? Because I want to just harp on this little point. I blessed your channel today. Because of someone who wasn't really even there, you made a boatload of money and you dipped. So how about you really bless my channel and give me a chance to react to the live stream that you just did, right? Why did you take it down? I have it right here. Hey, Marquette. I know this guy's a troll. I know this person's a troll. But this is a question I would love to ask Marquette if he didn't block me, right? Why is this only what happened to the live stream today? What happened? You didn't you made the bag off of me and ran, dog. He made the bag off of me and ran. Shut the hell up. I don't want to hear anything out of your mouth until I see them source codes. All right, that goes for all the trolls and that goes for all of that stuff. And K Silence says all you do is talk about other YouTubers. Yeah, because that's what other YouTubers do. They talk about other YouTubers, dummy. Like, you're so dumb. Like, literally, he's talked about Kevin Samuels. That's the largest video he's ever done. You sound stupid. You want me to go to it? I'm on his channel right now. Let me go to it. So we just point that out, right? We're on his channel right now. All you do is talk about other YouTubers. Okay, here's him pretending to be fresh and fit. Here's him. Right? Oh, I also recognize his buddy over here too as well. And the backstory behind him will freaking shock you. All right. There's them on a live stream talking about other YouTubers. Oh, by the way, this particular live stream right here, this one right here, while they were talking about other YouTubers, they also addressed some things that you might want to pay attention to. All right. Because that's a live stream right there where I went in to ask questions and they blocked me. So go pay attention to that. Oh, this one right here, they talked about other YouTubers. He actually mainly was talking about other YouTubers, quote unquote, hating, but realistically, it is what it is. There's them pretending to be fresh and fit again. Look at this. Him explaining away Kevin Samuels, right? Like, he didn't just talk shit about him on a fucking platform that has way more views than majority of his videos right now. Oh, but we'll digress. There's him pretending to be fresh and fit again, right? Oh my God, now he's talking about women, right? Because that's what everyone does in this space, right? Oh, like, dude, come on. Oh, there's him pretending to be fresh and fit again. There's him. Oh, is that the vacation you took in Kenya? Right, where you basically talked about how much of a god you were amongst guys who were in Africa. I watched that shit. It was fucking disgusting, bro. You think you were doing these guys a favor? You're basing on your presence. You sound dumb. Like, this was crazy. There's him pretending to be fresh and fit. There's him pretending to be fresh fit again. Like, come on. Everything that you accuse me of doing, he does. So, no. This first part was about you. It's not about Terrence Howard. It's about you because you were just talking shit just earlier. So, we're going to go on and move on to different things. Guys, for the real story today, right? We just spent about 40 minutes on Marquette, right? And that's about as best you can do, debunking a lot of shit. But reason why I want to spend time on that is because a lot of these guys who claim to be high value guys are really just betas. They're really just weaklings, right? You go on a stream talking all that shit. You're going to take down my channel. You're going to do this. I have to address it, motherfucker. It is what it is, right? So, you know, I don't know what else you want to say, but you're the one who's running scared and looking weak. Just put the live stream back up, unblock me, and we'll have a conversation. Okay. But other than that, we'll go ahead and move on. So today, guys, we're going to be talking about Terrence Howard because Terrence Howard, guys, lost his freaking mind. Okay. This man, listen, we're going to talk about how celebrity culture has gone too far, right? You guys can't be worshiping celebrities just because they're famous or they think that they are does not mean that everything that they say is valid. All right. Terrence Howard, literally, I shit you not, guys. Y'all going to have a kick out of this one. Terrence Howard literally went to Oxford University to prove to the students that gravity isn't real. I shit you not. This man goes to Oxford just to prove that gravity isn't real. Like, I shit you not. And it's crazy how people tend to like freaking think about all these different celebrities as being these heroes, as being these goddamn, oh, you guys are greater than now. You guys know everything. Like what we saw at the Oscars not too long ago, right? Right? He's like, oh, you guys are all these different things. Come to find out, y'all are just dumb. And this is why, like, guys, you can't take what celebrities say seriously. So we're going to play a little bit of this because this shit was funny as hell when I saw it. I'm like, this cannot be real. This man literally went to Oxford to go ahead and talk about his findings on gravity. And we're going to explain a lot too as well, because there's some ish that he says that I follow. I actually follow it, right? And it's not that I super rock with it, right, or anything like that. I follow it because it makes sense. When he talks about the tree, or not the tree of life, the plant of life or things like that, when he breaks that down, right, I rock with that. But the way he explained it on this platform here, he completely not only butchered the message, but he, like, Terrence, you are living proof right now that gravity exists, okay? So you saying what you were saying don't make no sense, bro. You just making us look stupid. But I digress. Let's go ahead and play the video real quick, fellas. And let me know if you can hear audio. Oh, I gotta go larger than that. This shit's funny. It's too funny. Right. So this man's at Oxford University, bro. Guys, ask yourself this question. How does an actor make it to Oxford University to try to have a Q&A about gravity and math? Like, this is how far our world has come to, bro. Like, this shit is crazy as hell. So let's see what this man has to say about what do you call it? Gravity not being real.
That he's been the kindest person, and he's really an angel for you guys because he can bring a ton of people here just with his kind words. How many of you are interested in acting? None. Great. Maybe a couple of y'all. So, you know, I didn't have any training as an actor, right? I grew up in a real bad part of Cleveland, Ohio. Wore little girls' dresses for the first 2 years of my life because we didn't have any money for clothes for me. I managed to climb my way out of there by doing a fancy little thing called lying. You know? You guys do any of that? Back in 1986, when I started working in this business, there was no thing called the internet. So when I put my first resume together, since I was trying to go and get jobs, I'd go knock at doors and go and do castings, and nobody would take me seriously because I didn't have an agent and I didn't have a resume. So I put together a 3-page resume of all the projects that I wanted to do. And I put my name on them, starring in all these things. And that was my first resume. And it got me into the door. And as time went on over the last 35 years, I filled up that thing. So it's no more lies on my resume. It's all truth. But it wasn't lies then. It was what I was going to make happen. And that's what I want to say. Most of what you are trying to accomplish today or tomorrow is the same thing you were trying to accomplish.
Yeah, that's what you just do, guys. Just lie on your freaking resume, right, Marquardt? You just lie on your resume, and then, you know, as soon as you lie enough, you just at some point in time would never you would eventually run out of lies, right? You run out of lies, and soon enough, there's no more lies. Like, come on, Terrence, what are you talking about? But pay attention, because he's easing his way into this story real freaking quick.
20 years ago, you're the same person that you were then. If you lose that little spark that kept you motivated, that little piece, like this is my vocation. I love acting half the time, but there's some downfalls of it. You know, a lot of actors end up with personality identity crisis and conflicts because you have so many characters you're playing. And if you really commit to the characters, you become like a piece of clothing. And your body becomes what they put on. And the character has a tendency of wanting to own you. They don't let go. What you saw in Anthony Hopkins and Hannibal Lecter, that monster lives in him. That's why we believed it. he had to tap into something very ugly in our human nature sometimes. And as an actor, sometimes I tap into beautiful things. But like with Lucius, and the character I play with Lucius, his life is filled with turmoil. So 90% of the day, I'm walking around carrying his turmoil and also the turmoil for me and my own family. And then how do you have time to really bring yourself back to who you are? Because that's the most important thing. That's the thing that's going to bother you more than anything else. You will look at yourself one day and you won't know who you are.
Okay, when he was saying this, I had a few questions because is that a real thing that actors go through? I'm not an actor, so it's hard for me to pretend to be someone I'm not. You can ask Lord Marquardt. I think he's still in the chat. But listen, listen, does that change who you are? I need to know because, you think about actors that when they go in, like even old boy that played Twilight, but now is Batman, right? Just being able to submerge yourself in that role, does that change you, right? Like 50 Cent when he was in, no, he wasn't in, what's that one movie he was in where he got AIDS? I don't know what movie that was, but I mean, it seemed like he was very submersed, lost weight and everything. I didn't even recognize that was 50, right? So these actors, does putting yourself in that role like actually have that big an effect? Shout out today, Deuce Q, shout out for the $5 super chat. He says, if Duke's not popping, why are people like Anthony Johnson and O'Shea Duke coming on this channel to collab? No, that's facts. That's absolute facts, right? Like this is what I like to say, man. Like, when people say things like that, they don't understand influence, right? They just don't understand how that shit works. We're the smallest channel that has the biggest fucking voice. So what are you talking about? That's why when people come on and say your channel is slow, okay, go look at the resume, buddy. Okay, and we've only been here. What, we're 5 months going on 6. You've been here for years. You haven't grown. It's so bad that you try to attack Kevin Samuels, it didn't work. Then now you're trying the fresh and fit strategy. The views went up, but your sub count didn't. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, at least I'm just doing the exact same thing I did like 4 or 5 months ago. And we got years to go, my nigga. So this 40 will change. These 30 people watching will change. This channel that's not popping will pop. If it's not already popping already, which I already know it is. It's just that like certain people don't understand how certain things work. So they just see numbers and compare apples to oranges. And it's people like that are the easiest to be fooled. That's just what it is. So that's why like I don't have time for that. But no, that's a good question. Oh yeah, if you're not popping, why? Like nigga, what? Like we have every like OG coming up here and working with us, bro. Even OGs that you've interviewed that you later on turn around talking shit about. So what is happening here? What is happening here? And they come here. We don't seek people out. Except for Pocket Watching with JT. If you're listening, please check your email because I really fuck with that shit. Like I fuck with Pocket Watching. I think y'all can benefit too with these fake dudes that we're going after. I'm not saying you gotta come after dudes that you fuck with. I'm just saying that we could talk about some of your recent stuff. But realistically, I don't send emails out, my nigga. People fuck with us. Where the niggas that fuck with you? Where they at? Oh, they're over there super chatting you while you run off with the bag. Get out of here, bro. Listen, it is what it is. I don't pay attention to comments like that. They talk about clout because that's all they need. I don't want to hear anything from a guy who's trying to be discount fresh and fit Vegas. You lost your status to talk about anybody who's trying to chase clout if your nigga is literally replicating fresh and fit. It's so bad, dude. You know his partner, whatever that other dude name is, he was actually exposed by a larger mainstream YouTuber, which we're talking with, and we're going to be trying to probably get some stuff on. But literally, they exposed him for doing fake stripper prank videos, or not stripper, gold digger prank videos. Like this dude is copying Fresh and Fit to the core. Like your partner was literally doing what Fresh was doing before he met up with Myron. You're the most unoriginal person I have ever met. And if you don't believe me, I'm gonna link it. Your boy used to do prank videos that had to do with gold digger pranks. So did Fresh. You are emulating their exact lifestyle, and that is the same dude you're using to partner up with to do your show. If you don't believe me, go look it up, bro. His dude is this dude. There's nothing real about him. There's nothing original. So when you went from solo to doing a Fresh and Fit podcast, we didn't know you were actually gonna find a Fresh Prince CEO version to put on your cast, dog. You literally copied their platform to the core. Your boy was busted, called out for doing fake gold digger prank videos. Yeah, try to take them videos down, my nigga. We already clipped them. We're too quick. Yeah, that's how we're able to get that screenshot. We get all that stuff because we everywhere, bro. Ain't nobody got like nigga. Actually, personally, we're not, but y'all send us shit, so I appreciate it. And even some of y'all that fuck with Saint the Sinner, and y'all know who you are. I'm not gonna out y'all in the chat. Y'all know who you were that sent me. I see y'all who sent me that shit right now. That link that told me he was talking shit. I see y'all in the chat right now. So what are you talking about? Y'all were there. I'm not gonna expose you because that's not how we do. We don't dox people, unlike Marquette Divine Burton that doxed O'Shea. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that too soon? Was that too soon? Okay. Oops. But we don't do that. We don't dox anybody, bro. We just kind of let it. You just kind of let it run. But we know some of you guys are there, and thank you for letting us know about it because you guys were genuinely hurt. Like, am I out here trolling other people? No, but I would like to go up here and explain myself because I respect the 35 people in the chat. I respect them. I respect the 20 people in the chat. No, I respect the 10 people. No, I respect the 0 people watching right now. I respect them. Thank you, nobody that's watching. I appreciate you at least making me aware that Marquette, Devon, and Compton. Quit copying people's shit, dog. Like you're not real. Like your partner was literally busted for doing fake gold digger prank videos. There's nothing about you that was real, dog. You're fake through and through. You're a copycat. When Kevin Samuels didn't work because you couldn't get out. When O'Shea Duke Jackson beef didn't work because you couldn't get on with that, then you turned to Fresh and Fit. It doesn't seem like that's working for you. Like, get out of here, bro. You're fake. I'm just calling out your business, dog, and I just wanted answers, but you're turning into something else that doesn't need to be turned to. Answer the question. Why is it so hard? Hey, I don't know what else to say, but like that's a factual statement. Like if we weren't popping OGs, like why are they here? Why do people fuck with us that are here? Like I said, we may have a small platform. We got a large voice. I'm going to tell you that. There's nothing different about our voice. I'm going to tell you that right now. Let's continue.
Because you don't remember who you were. Sometime along the way, or maybe at 13 or 14, we let go of the little person that kept us going. That little person that was always there. I got you, man. I'm here. I got you. Don't go in there. I ain't going in there. That person, when we get about 13 or 14, we get embarrassed of him. And we push him aside and we don't listen to him anymore. And he's always knocking. Hey. And after so long of a time, maybe 10, 15 years, you don't even know him. You show up at your own door and you don't even know who you are. Your family doesn't know who you are. So it's important, no matter what you do, no matter what challenges you go through, you remember who you are. You may think you've been here for 20 years on this planet, but we know that energy, it is forever. It doesn't die. It continually recycles itself.
He's right.
So
he's right about that.
You've been a trilobite 350 million years ago, or some part of it. Some parts of you were part of a pterodactyl. Every one of us have been a part of everything in this universe. So if we tap into those things in ourselves and remember those things in ourselves, we have that power. Now, my vocation has been an actor, and I've loved that. I've been able to take care of my family as an actor, but that's never been my passion. I was an actor because it was like Jesus walking on water for tips. That's what he did. It was a natural thing. I've always been an empath. I've always been emotionally connected to him.
Hey, this nigga's at Oxford. I'm just saying. Listen to what he's saying. God damn it, dog.
But the thing that I was most spiritually connected to, that was my driving force, was physics. It was wondering how the universe really came to be. And I fell in love with this thing called the flower of life. You guys know Da Vinci? Do you know what he spent most of his life trying to figure out? Who in here knows the flower of life? I'm going to get you something.
Uh-oh.
Because I want you guys to know. Huh?
Do you want me to hold it?
No, I'm going to hold it up. I want you guys to know about a 6,000-year-old secret. 6,000 years, mankind has been trying to decipher this one little thing called the flower of life. Now, do you know the flower of life? Have you guys ever seen this before? Now, you know this is one of the oldest symbols in human history, right? Or do you not know? This symbol was found in the Temple of Osiris in Egypt, and it had been molecularly burned into the wall.
Oh God!
2,000
Fuck!
years old. This same symbol has been found in the forbidden temples in China, sitting under the fufu dogs.
Oh
And they
God!
put on it the flower of life, saying whoever controlled that flower of life controlled the universe. There were secrets in that flower of life that Da Vinci spent his whole life trying to uncover.
I'm gonna stop it right there because the flower of life, I actually follow a lot what they say. Not too in depth, but I could break down for a lot of you guys who don't really know what that means. All right, and based off what I'm breaking this down, he's gonna go into his version and explanation, and you let me know if that makes any sense. So the flower of life is supposed to represent all particles, or not particles, but all shapes that basically make up the building foundations of basically life, matter, the world, universe around us, right? And if you break them down, they break into individual shapes and pieces that basically fit when you put them within a circle, right? So the whole idea, or the background behind this essentially is like, if you think about it, there's a point, a fixed point in space, right? That point, it can't really do anything because it's a fixed point. It can't go up, it can't go down, it can't go left, it can't go right, because when you're in a space of nothing and you're a point, there's really no way you can move without a reference point, right? You can't really move around because there's no up or down and no motion. You need a reference point to have that. So as a spirit sitting in that first dimension, which is the point, essentially that spirit develops consciousness, and that consciousness basically forms a sphere around that particular point, in which now, because of that consciousness, the spirit which is in that point is aware of the observable reality it's created for itself. Now, amongst that circle, it can move about within, all right, towards the edge, and then create another point of consciousness and expand that out. And it keeps doing that over and over and over and over again until you get the patterns that you see within that particular chart. And those patterns fit into pretty much about every different shape, including the Fibonacci sequence. Pretty much it's known to be the basic foundation of the particles that build up life. Okay, so that's basically what it is. And I understand where he's trying to go with it, because when you break that down, it kind of explains a lot. But here's the thing. The way he tries to explain it, oh man, Terrence Howard, you should have just stayed at home, my dude.
There were secrets in that flower of life that Newton spent his whole life in secret trying to uncover. The same secrets that Pythagoras was desperately trying to uncover. But their problem was they kept seeing this in a two-dimensional space.
You guys see that? So pay attention. You see this? Hold up. Let me actually, I'm gonna pull this up because I actually fuck with this. I actually fuck with this heavy. Hold up. Let me change this real freaking quick. All right. Hey, if you ain't drinking right now, get your drinks up, okay? Because this shit's about to be crazy. So when the spirit moves, because all this is a circle within a circle, right? So when the spirit, like, let's say this was the first point here, the spirit kind of, hold up. Let me move my mouse over here, right? So let's say this is like the first point here. The spirit moves all the way to the edge, expands its consciousness, right? So from this point, it creates a big circle of consciousness, right? Then it moves over to the other point, creates another big circle of consciousness, and it replicates this pattern over and over and over again, right? And these little gaps in between, they're supposed to represent like basically the space that light, which I believe light being part of the first dimension exists within, right? So right in this space, because if you look in the Bible, right, in the Bible, and I'm gonna get biblical on you fucks real quick, all right? I'm gonna get, I know y'all didn't realize I can get into this, but I can get into this shit. I know a little bit about it, a lot, all right? So in the Bible, it talks about at first there was darkness and then there was light, right? So what that means essentially, what I explained in my previous explanation, when you're in a point, in a fixed point in a world filled with nothingness, because before the Big Bang, there was nothing, but there was also a singularity. It was a singular point, right? And that point wasn't as conscious, or it didn't know about itself until it expanded its consciousness to a certain radius. Similar to how we have a telescope that can see as far as we can see, but there's always a radius around it, and we call that the observable universe. That becomes, from our point, the reference, right? It's no different than here. So this particular point that they're talking about it makes in the biblical, it was saying at first it was darkness, then there was light, right? And well, here's the thing. To notice the fact that there was darkness, there has to be some level of motion, right? And the plant of life, or the flower of life, actually explains that. After the spirit was able to expand its consciousness, it was able to basically move around amongst the sphere in which it was observable to it, right? And then when it moved along the edge of its observable reality, it expanded its consciousness more, right? So these little grooves that you see here ends up being light, because then afterwards it says let there be light, right? And the light shone upon the world, which illuminated upon what the universe it was able to see, or that it created. That's why you guys are aware of the consciousness. Now, I don't wholeheartedly believe this stuff, but I understand what he's trying to get at, because when you explain it, it kind of makes sense, right? And essentially what they're trying to explain is the God particle. It's stuff that happens in physics, but Marquette wouldn't know anything about that. But yeah, it's really some crazy stuff, man. But watch how he explains this shit to these Oxford students. How he tries to explain all this shit is just weird. Hold up, let me. There you go.
They couldn't get it out of this two-dimensional frame, and as a result, they got stuck in this plane, a flat plane. Now, what Da Vinci and all of them wanted to do, they were trying to find a way to bring this flower to life, because what is inside of it? Well, apparently, there were secrets inside of it. Shapes, they got the Merkaba and all of those other things out of it. But they were misled by something I think called a straight line. You guys believe in straight lines? You believe there's straight lines in the universe? Well, let me hit you with something. All energy in the universe is expressed in what? It's in motion. If something is still, there's no energy. Kinetic, right? All motion is expressed in what? You look at galaxies, are they expressed in straight lines? Expressed in vortices. All vortices are expressed in what? Waves. All waves are curved. Show me a straight line. You show me where platonic solids come from. Where do they have their foundations in our universe? Are there any straight lines? If you look at anything, there are no straight lines. That's been the mistake. We've been looking at these straight lines, this Euclidean way of thinking, and missing the curvature of nature.
Shut up! Shut up! See, this is where he starts to butcher the actual message, because in the actual lore of the flower of life, essentially, listen. If you want to count the circle as female, there are actually straight lines that actually exist within that, right? And those straight lines actually end up forming a three-dimensional cube. So yes, straight lines does fucking exist. What are you talking about? There's no way you can have a flat plane and a three-dimensional field without a height, without like what? Terrence. God damn it, Terrence. God damn it, Terrence. You're at Oxford, bro. You're at Oxford. God damn it. But now he starts to butcher the explanation, and he's talking to like damn near geniuses at this point. Bro, let's continue. This shit gets too funny.
Here we are, back with the curvature of nature. And you have all these little pieces. Now, this has always been...
Yo, Adam Max. Yo, he's about to explain what that means, and you're about to have a field day, bro. This shit's fucking hilarious. Watch.
Information system. So compare some of these points. Take a point here and say, well, what's the space in between all of these things? Now, they've said that all the in-between spaces, if this is the Earth and this is the moon right here, all this in-between space is filled with what? A void. There's nothing in the void. Well, I found that there is something in the void. The elementary fundamental particles that they've been searching for at the CERN collider, the Hadron Collider in CERN, I found that their energy signatures matched perfectly to some of the pieces that I was able to pull out of here. So I'm gonna bring some of those now. Do I have a minute? Am I good?
No,
Okay.
no. Don't do it. Terrence,
Now,
don't do
artwork is
it.
supposed to be on a projector for you guys. I don't have that. So what I do have is a bit of a Chanel bag, or an old Chanel bag,
Oh, Terrence,
a box,
don't do it.
as it were. And we're going to talk about a couple of items in here that are so hard to even express here. Afterwards, y'all going to have to just take a look at these. Thank God I don't have the time to do it.
Don't do it,
I can
Terrence.
show you.
Come on, man. Don't do it,
I
man.
am going to show you.
Ah, no, he's gonna do it.
I didn't come here not to show you.
Oh no.
Now, whether you guys are able to express, understand some of these things, Lord help me. What I've done is I've figured out about 7 different elementary particles, fundamental particles. And then there were secondary generational particles that seemed to occur. And when these things began to build up more and more, they began to create their own systems. And these systems is what I brought to Oxford because I would like for you guys to examine them, put them to test. Because I bet you will find all the fundamental particles that they've been looking.
Nigga, these people study multi-million-dollar hadron colliders to look for those particles. Ain't nothing you have in your Prada bag gonna fucking change their mind, bro. Hey, we can't be listening. Hey, this is what happens when like ego goes too far, right? Where you around people that just says, hey, listen, all them stories you're telling me, the conspiracy theories, okay, let's just keep them inside because if we keep gassing your heads up, you might think you're too smart for Oxford. God damn it, bro. This literally, bro, they build particle colliders to basically study this shit. You got trinkets in your Prada bag or Gucci bag or Louis Vuitton. Fuck. Y'all, hey, man. Hey, come on, man. Come on, man. We can't do this.
For in the unified theory of the universe. It's a big statement. But I've got a lot of stuff to back it up if given the opportunity to do so. But the flower of life has been opened. And when we get an opportunity, I'd love to show you some of these things. Can I go on?
Yep, you good?
I can't, without being able to show the pieces, it's a whole different monster. But all of these wave conjugations, all of these states of matter, all of these things, there's time, it's time for that to be changed now.
Okay.
We have changed all of our buildings to be aerodynamic.
Nigga, how can a building be aerodynamic? What are we talking about? It's a building, bruh. It's a building, bro. Airplanes are built to be aerodynamics. Rocket ship are built to be aerodynamic because they have wings that generate lift off of the air that they're freaking passing through. The molecules you're trying to explain. Like what? Oh God, dog. Like, hey, you shouldn't have went to Oxford, dog. Like, why did you have to go to Oxford?
Are no longer based on a two-dimensional Euclidean way of life, but our math is still based on a two-dimensional way.
No! No! Calculus literally describes motion. That's math. Terrence, what are you doing, dog? Math does describe three-dimensional and motion. It's called calculus 1 and 2 in advanced, okay? It's just, why did you have to go to Oxford, dog? Like, you're not. Listen, just because people adore you and think you're great on Empire, okay, Lucius is a smart man and you played a great character, but that nigga does not understand particle physics, dog. Come on.
Future, we have to examine that. Do you guys know about loops in math? Do you believe in loops? Do you know the square root of 2? Do you think that's a loop? Do you believe that the square root of 2 is the square root of 2? Yes or no? Hands up, no? Hello? Oh, I want y'all to take out your phone for a minute then. We're gonna do one thing. Everybody got a phone? Put it on their calculator and turn it to the side so you can get all the long numbers out of it. Okay? Now I want you to put in 2 and square root it. 2, hit the square root, you'll get 1.414,213,562,373,095, ...
You know what I hate is like when y'all remember when y'all back in high school or middle school, whatever the fuck y'all can remember, or even college, right? And like, so you get that one quirky teacher that always tries to do something like with pi, right? They'll get you all up, stand up in a line, and say who can recite the pi, right? It's 3.1.159. That's as far as I can go with it, because I can't go further than that, right? But like they always sound impressive the longer they can go. You see how this dude was able to read off that number. So he's already done the math before. And he thinks he's about to get him on something. Like, really, Terrence Howard thinks he's about to get him on something, bro. Like, this is crazy to me.
Now I want you guys to do me a favor. Cube it. It'll see right over there. It'll be x to the 3. Can y'all do it? Have you cubed it? It'll see 2.828, 4271, 2174, 6190. Now that makes sense. I want you guys to do me a favor. Divide it by 2. Got that number? Cube it again. Divide it by 2. Cube it again. And I want you to do that until the end of your lives.
Nigga, what? I can't do that. I thought you were going to show me something now. I ain't got time for the rest of my life to spend here doing cubes and shit. You can't do this to Oxford students, bro. You're supposed to be an actor. You're supposed to be an actor. Come on. Come on. What are we talking about? This shit's crazy, bro. Like, this shit's crazy. Hey, Omega Supreme, shout out to you for the super chat. Let me get you right here. Shout out to you for the $5 super chat. He says, here from THPP, the tip. Good stuff, man. Never forget Terrence talked to himself on the Marvel Iron Man and got replaced by John Cena. That's facts. The same nigga right now at Oxford University trying to teach students about particle physics, asked for too much money and got replaced. Nigga, you couldn't even get basic economics. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, what are you doing at Oxford? Listen, guys, if this is any consolation to y'all, if your best friend, you understand that he's on some bullshit and you know that dream that he always had, you know for a fact, in reality, it just doesn't make any sense. You should not gas him up. Otherwise, they end up with God complexes, okay? And they think they're bold enough to go on freaking Oxford University and try to convince you, all right, the students who literally study particle colliders, that gravity and that gravity is not real. Like, you gotta check your friends, bro, because celebrities and all these other artists, they don't have people around them literally telling them, hey, Terrence Howard, maybe you shouldn't go to Oxford University with this idea. Why, man? Because it might not work. What you mean it's not gonna work? Terrence, what up? I'm just saying that, like, I know you and me talking, Terrence, you'll be talking, like, I can kind of see what you're talking about with the flower of life, but, like, I don't know, like, them students, they kind of look smart. Like, I don't know if the ideas, I gotta get there, bro. What you mean? I've been studying this shit for 45 years, man. It's like, hey, Terrence, I get it, bro. I get it. But, like, for real, bro, you don't want to do this. If he had real brothers around him, he wouldn't be on Oxford's platform right now. He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. This man is over here trying to explain to brothers how gravity is not real to a bunch of students that literally study math, bro. Oh, my God. But he said, you're right. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Bernie L, shout out to you for the membership, man. Really appreciate it. Really do, man. Great stuff. Great stuff. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for supporting, man. Hey, for those of you guys, you know, it's out there. It's open. We try to promote it. We don't. Like, listen, bro, I just have fun with this stuff, man. Like, it's all about making sure we have laughs and stuff to the 20 people that are watching, or I'm sorry, the 0 people that are watching right now. Thank you guys for being here. I so appreciate it.
And that number will still come up with 2.828, 4271, 2174, 6190. Any other number that you above 2 that you put in and you cube and you square, cube and square and divide by 2, by the 6th operation, it has moved into an exponential number that you can't even imagine. Any number below 2 that you do that same operation with, it will go into an exponentially small matter and number. This is what we call a loop. It is illogical, it doesn't make sense, and it does not make math make sense. So these are some things that I'm bringing to the fore and that I would like to question. I would like to audit the math, the world of mathematics, and I would like to audit how we view the Platonic solids.
Out the world of mathematics, nigga, what? What do you mean audit the world of mathematics? Oh God, no. Why did you go to Oxford? You're not auditing shit, bro. You're not. There's nothing to. You're about to audit literally generations of math and question all, like literally all of a sudden what we know, the math inside Isaac Newton, the law of motion with the apple. All of a sudden, it wasn't until now that Terrence Howard came out that this is what we needed to talk about. Oh God, dog. Oh my God. Hey, Terrence, you should have went to Oxford, bro. Why did you go to Oxford? Like, why?
Because I think the new wave conjugation will tell a better story of how our world works. And that's it. It wasn't quite what I thought, though, Chris.
Yeah,
But I wanted my pictures. You guys got it. And y'all won't even have time afterwards. But I've spent 45 years searching these things out.
45 years. 45 years. No, you were lying. You're lying, dude. 45 years. Come on, you're lying. What you did was watch a little YouTube video. That's what it was, right? You said, oh shit, this flower of life shit makes a lot of sense. And you know what you did? You thought it made so much sense that you decided, it's time to speak at Oxford. It's time to take my ideas to the real world. Kind of like some of the guys in the manosphere, right? They think they could talk amongst their little echo chambers, but then when it comes up against reality, boom! They get reality slapped all over the face. Somebody should have checked you, Terrence Howard, before you came out with this. Like 45 years of research. I would like to see the paperwork. I want to see the research done. Hey, Bernie L, shout out to you for the $2. He says, get that Dunsat out. You know what? I got you. We ready. This man mad capping right now, son. He's capping hard right now. We ready.
Trying to figure out what the universe really, how it really worked. And we've come to find that the universe, they are abandoning the standard model, the ideas of black holes and dark matter.
What?
For an electric model of the universe that is in response to Birkeland currents and all these things. It's a better version, a better vision of how we should see the universe. That's how I see it, and I think it should be explored.
So just to add some context to this, Terrence and I have spent the afternoon together, and Terrence has showed me a lot of this and explained to my feeble mind basically what he's theorizing.
Hey,
I thought the couple.
He's trying to clown him, bro. He said, "Explain to my feeble mind." You trying to clown him, dog?
The things that you showed me that I thought were really good were how you explaining the story about how originally the flower of life, everybody just followed the lines and didn't understand the space, and you have the quite good models in there.
Yes.
Of how they connect together and how you have managed to put it into a 3D shape rather than just people looking at 2D. Perhaps you want to explain a little bit about that.
Yeah, the idea of, like one of the things I've been saying, the Euclidean mindset has kept us.
Basically, what this guy's trying to have him allude to was the explanation I just gave earlier before we did this, right? About the whole flower of life and how that basically makes from a two-dimensional shape through a three-dimensional shape. What this guy doesn't understand is that science already has an explanation for that, and it's called string, or for some people who are very astute, M theory, okay? And for those guys who don't know what that is basically saying that every universe exists within a certain dimension, right? And you go as high as the 10th, 11th dimension. Some people think it's some dimensions higher than that, but ultimately you start from a point which is the first dimension. You go into the second dimension, which is a 2D plane, right? It's a flat surface, or I think that that's a no. The second is a line, and then the third is a well, not the third dimension, but like the zero. Let's start with zero. The zero is the point. The first is the line, right, which is the shortest distance between 2 points, and then the second is when you can move around the line, and that line also has length and also has width, right? And then the third dimension includes the height element, right? And then you start getting into the tesseract shapes, and then the tetrahedron and things like that, right? The different higher dimensions of matter and life, essentially the building blocks of life. So what the flower of life explains is that from that particular point of that spirit that is suddenly aware of its consciousness, right, it wanders off to the edge of its own consciousness, and it's able to expand off of that edge, and it does that around a three-dimensional plane, right? What basically explains is that three-dimensional plane, it replicates itself. Now it requires a line item, right? And essentially what that means is what he was saying doesn't exist, and the line is basically something that basically creates a larger sphere within that, which then it's like it makes a cube kind of. It's really hard to explain without like visuals and shit, because I'm over here like drunk as fuck trying to like make the shit like make sense, but like it's a better explanation than what he gives, 100% guaranteed.
So locked away. Like there's tons of paperwork of Da Vinci working on the flower of life and trying to unravel it. But every single existence, every single example, you see him making straight lines and trying to make these straight lines bend in, and therefore he was never able to open it up, because all the universe is curved, all space is curved. And as a result, what I was doing in trying to find these straight lines, I abandoned the idea of the straight line. The shortest distance between 2 points is curved space.
No!
Cannot.
No! Terrence, why did you go to Oxford, bro? Like, you could have just stayed home. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, not a curved space. The curve has more. Matter of fact, it actually gets exponential the deeper the curve, my guy. Right? If you're trying to explain it like a black hole, okay, the black hole is curved. The closer you get to the fucking singularity, right? Or the event horizon, not the singularity, but you get to the singularity as soon as you pass the event horizon. The closer you get to the event horizon, the more the curvature of space steepens, dog. Okay, and that's a long way down. But the straight line, the straightest point, or the shortest distance between 2 points, is a straight line, not a curved space. Curved space makes it longer, unless you're trying to get space to curve within itself and create some kind of wormhole. I get it, but it's a straight line. What are you talking about? Fuck, dog.
Force your way straight through space. Even electricity, as it moves from a southern plane to a northern plane, it always goes northeast in its direction. And magnetism, as it expands out,
No!
it goes southwestern. And that's the spin. That's how you always know whether it's magnetism or electricity. It's the spin. Is it northeast or is it south?
No, polarization. I get what you mean. I get what you mean, right? The Earth spins around so fast it generates its own magnetic field. I understand that, but that doesn't explain how the magnet fields travel. That doesn't explain that at all, guys. Oh fuck. Guys, are y'all drinking with me? Like, this is crazy. Like this dude watched a YouTube video, high as fuck, came out realizing that he knew everything about the universe, even more than Oxford fucking students, bro. What are you talking about? They have particle colliders to prove this dude wrong. Hey, shout out to the guys in the chat. Real quick, man. Let's go. Let's get it.
Southwest. But in trying to define curved matter, I'm so sorry, I get so distracted.
Nah, you get
Trying
nervous.
to define the spaces. It allowed me to see that all of these in between, what we have been dealing with is these petals. All of mankind have dealt with these petals, but it's these other shapes that we've ignored constantly. Well, those other shapes were the in-between spaces. They were the things that filled up the vacuum of space. And all these particles that I have, I think, are the full proof of that. And it is also the full proof of the wave particle argument.
No, no, no. That is the little trinkets you got in your fucking Prada bag. It's not the building foundations of life. And I get what he's talking about, right? Because just like explained earlier in this video, the shapes that we're talking about that made up the building foundations of matter, essentially, is what he's trying to explain. Yes, okay, they all exist within anything that's not empty space. Okay, the only thing that scientists know for a fact that exists within empty space is dark matter, and even that they don't know what's going on with it. Oh, for those of you guys who don't know, I went to school for aerospace engineering. So a lot of this stuff with chemicals, physics, and shit, I took in high school and college. So I know a lot of this stuff. I know I should have been a rocket scientist by now, but I'm gonna tell you this: I'm not smart enough to do that. So I work with desktop. So it is what it is. Computers are a lot more easier to work with than NASA stuff. So that I'm gonna give people that. But like, listen, bro, that's not how that shit works. That's not how that shit works, bro.
Yeah, you should explain a little bit about what your intention was in sort of bringing this up, and sort of because something you said was the next step is like, how do you apply this?
Well, here we are on this planet. Can I do that point? Our planet is moving away from our sun at 6 inches a year. You guys know that. 15 centimeters a year, our planet is pushing away from the sun. So in less than 500 million years, our planet will be out of the Goldilocks zone, will be somewhere near where Mars is, somewhere halfway between that. So life will not be able to be sustained on this planet anymore. So if we're going to be able to sustain ourselves as a species, we have to become interstellar. Not just interplanetary, we have to become interstellar.
No, that's not how that works either. All right, and it's not the Earth expanding away from the sun. It's the moon. The moon is actually expanding away from the sun. The Earth might be with the orbit changing, but the orbit isn't perfectly circular. It's actually an elliptical orbit. So there's certain points where the Earth actually moves further away from the sun, but the Earth really isn't going anywhere. It's the moon that's actually doing that, right? What he's conflating right now is the sun eventually getting old enough to become what's called a red giant. If you guys don't know what a red giant is pretty much the later stage of our sun's life, because it's part of a certain group or classification of suns that actually turn into that. So our sun isn't actually going to explode like most supernovas will, but our sun essentially will expand beyond its original size towards the orbit of Mars, actually. And Mars is going to be the new Mercury in about a couple billion years. The reason why is the sun is going to run out of hydrogen and start burning helium for fuel instead. And when the sun starts burning helium for fuel instead of hydrogen, it expands up to the point beyond past Earth orbit towards Mars. That's why we actually at some point later down the line need to move to Mars, right? But it's not happening. Even if we do move to Mars, the sun is going to be right there. And just because it's a red giant doesn't mean it's not going to burn the shit out of that fucking planet. It will. So realistically, in 4 billion years, none of this shit would fucking matter. Okay. And hopefully we become an interstellar species before we get to that point, if we don't blow ourselves up with nukes then, right? But that's what he's trying to explain. But you see how he conflates those two things together to try to make a point. Stop it. Stop it, Terrence. You should have had friends to tell you this, but let's face it, most people don't have friends that do this shit. So let's just be real. You have friends that live in echo chambers or are yes men, and I don't blame you. A lot of people on the internet have those kind of folks, and when the real people try to talk to them about it, they block them out. They block them so much so they go up to Oxford thinking they got the balls to disprove pretty much science. Like, this is crazy to me.
But with approximations, you cannot become interstellar. You cannot become interstellar with a point that will take you all the way over here with a straight line when the actual event is taking place over here when you're going 600 quadrillion miles. You can't make a mistake. You need precision. And that's what the math is about. These pieces predict the natural.
Space is curved. Space is always curved, right? If you want to think about it two-dimensionally, right? It's a flat surface that has curves in it. But those curves represent the gravity, and the deeper the curve, the stronger the gravity. Okay, I think that's what you're trying to explain. Are you trying to explain a black hole? The closer you get to that, the stronger the curve of the pull, right? And the curve, if you guys want to take it another step deeper, right? If you want to imagine it as a three-dimensional fucking plane, think about it like the Earth, right? You can fall into the Earth from any directions. Now, if the Earth was flat, sitting on a flat surface, you can fall into it from only kind of two directions, right? From the top and from the bottom, right? You can't really come in from the side because it's flat and that dimension doesn't really exist, right? You need a third dimension to be able to come in from the sides, right? You need something to lift you up. So the third dimension basically admits that you can fall in from all sides. So there's a nice little three-dimensional curve around the Earth that represents how strong the Earth's gravity is. The steeper the curve, the deeper the hole in three-dimensional space. We're not talking two-dimensional like he's trying to conceptualize. We're talking about a hole in three-dimensional space that is so strong that light can't escape it. He's conflating multiple things at the same time. And it's like, God damn it, dog.
Distribution of matter and the distribution of where you can find yourself in that space. And I'm confident behind it. For 40 years, I've worked on that.
40 years!
And, I think it's ready.
You take that bitch back in the oven. It is not ready for this. You are not ready for Oxford. You are not ready for Oxford, bro. For 40 years, you need to put it back 40 years more, bro. Your hypothesis needs a little bit more fine-tuning.
So I've sat also at lunch, basically trying to get my head around this, and also was very, very, very skeptical. And I put my hands up and say that. And one of the things that you mentioned was sort of about how this applies to, I think it was the electric sun model. And that's where it's a theory that suggests that the sun is powered from external forces rather than what is usually, rather than nuclear fusion, which is the general consensus of scientists. And the reason for that is because there's no evidence to show that the byproduct of neutrinos are there. And
the neutrinos
what Terrence is trying to prove, I think, is that because the fact that you can't detect whether neutrinos are there or not, there must be another way in which they're powered. My argument to him is
each of the forces of the universe, right? Because they break it down. The shapes he's trying to describe of the flower of life, he's basically trying to describe it as the fundamental forces of the universe, right? There's the electromagnetic force, there's the gravity force, there's the nuclear force, which is a strong nuclear force that keeps nuclear fission active, right? We can detonate nuclear bombs. The sun itself is one giant nuclear explosion going off in three-dimensional space, right? So you have all of that going on, okay? And you also have the weak nuclear force. The weak nuclear force is the one that pretty much breaks everything apart. It allows particles to basically just break apart, right? This nigga is trying to say that doesn't exist. You were not ready for Oxford, dog. You're not ready for this kind of conversation. This is the kind of conversation real niggas have, like grown men, right? People who actually know shit. You're not ready for this. Bro, he's trying to say none of that shit exists. And
is that to suggest that neutrinos don't exist, we have a lot of evidence to not know that they're physically there, but a lot of the effects and how they interplay with other things. To suggest that they don't exist is not only to get rid of that small theory, but also quite a lot of other huge laws of physics.
Are they laws or are they ideas of physics?
Well, they're laws, bro. That means they were peer tested by scientific review and research. All right, they went from a simple hypothesis to a theory. The theory becomes law. That's literally the process of facts. When people talk about facts and finding facts, it literally starts with an hypothesis, then it moves over to a theory. When the theory is simply a proven hypothesis, right? And the hypothesis, once you prove the theory to be real and it has universal consensus, then it becomes a law. So when they talk about the nuclear force, they talk about the strong nuclear force, the weak nuclear force. When they talk about gravity, electromagnetic, when they're talking about all these different forces and the fundamental force of nature, they have tested and proven it. They literally have proof of the, not the direct particle itself, but the effects of the neutrinos. They've actually built platforms that are multi-million dollars to track neutrinos, which proves that all these particles of nature actually exist. So they actually prove that it exists. But this motherfucker and his YouTube videos believe that he actually knows more than proven law. Okay, so I'm gonna just let you know that, because YouTube, y'all used to people talking about facts and shit being fact. That's not real facts. The way scientific people, the actual science people classify facts is you start with an hypothesis, meaning you think about something and you say, hey, I think there's a reason why that works. Okay. To take that from a hypothesis to a theory, then you have to take that hypothesis and test it. You test it over again. It gets peer reviewed by actual scientists. And once it gets peer reviewed, it gets considered as theory because other scientists and professors get to utilize that in their works, right? And then once that it gets unified, it becomes law. Once you actually have undisputed proof, right? You can't deny it. You can't say this may or may not be it. Once you have undisputed proof, it becomes law. This motherfucker is trying to rewrite law, scientific law right now, like the laws of motion, the laws of gravity, bro. Every action equals the opposite reaction, nigga. It's law. God damn it.
But okay, why don't you respond to that and talk about how a lot of people have that sort of narrow mindset? You talked about identity.
Yeah, the identity element, and then the things that make our math work. Like if I said to you, what's 1 times 1? What'd you say? 1?
Yeah.
It equals 1. Now, what would Newton say is that?
Newton
Action
say
times
1.
reaction. That's a reaction, right? Anybody in here that thinks
that's 1, but it's still a variable that equals a different outcome. But that's what you get when you combine 2 elements. You still get a different energy or different element. Is just something reformed because it has 2 particles added into it. Watch what he's about to explain. This just gets funny, dog.
1 times 1 equals 1, then you give me 2 pounds and I'll give you a pound back. And we'll call that even, right? Because 1 times equals 1.
Yes.
An unbalanced equation.
If I give you 2 pounds and you give me 1 back, technically I only gave you 1. I didn't give you 2. It only becomes 2 pounds if I give you 2 pounds and I didn't get anything back. I didn't get that 1 back. If I give you 2 pounds and you give me back 1, you have 1, and technically I have 1. What are you? You're trying to disprove a law that can't be disproven, dog. That idea only works is if I give you 2 pounds and I didn't give you 1, then you ended up with 2 and I end up with nothing. But if I had 1 and you give me 2, but I give you that 1, I still end up with 1 and you end up with 1. What the fuck are we talking about? Fuck. But this is how easy it is for idiots on the internet to get on and say shit and think that they know what they're talking about. Guys, this is why you don't want to get lost in your echo chambers, because you come out believing dumb shit.
What we need to do is, the first thing in math is you're supposed to have a balanced equation. 1 times 1 equaling 1 is an unbalanced equation. But the identity element, which is like the Jim Crow laws of the 60s.
Oh, no! Don't bring black people into this. Don't do this shit, nigga. You in Oxford by yourself. We didn't ask you to come here. We didn't fucking
say that anything multiplied by 1 becomes that same number as itself. Well, the laws of physics has to break down in order for that to take place. Action and reaction for 1 times 1 to equal 1.
What? Did y'all hear this nigga? What the fuck did he just... He said you gotta rewrite physics for 1 times 1 to equal 1. Oh, God. Oh, I gotta stop drinking, dog. I gotta stop drinking. Oh, fuck.
In comparison to if I said, what's a dollar times a dollar? Anybody know it's a dollar? Well, what's a dime times a dime, or 10 pence?
10 pence, yeah.
10 pence times 10 pence? That's a pound, right? 10 pence times 10 pence? Is that right, honey? What about 100 pence times 100 pence? That's a dollar times a pound, right? That's $100, ain't it? What about a quarter? What about 4 quarters times 4 quarters? That's $1, right? That's £1, right?
No.
$4. Now, all of these things are legal. The banks can say $1 times $1 is $1 and give you that. Or the banks can say to a friend, $1 times $1 is a quarter times a quarter.
Nigga, why we talking about banks? Fuck the quarters, bro. We talking about 1 times 1. And you said you had to rewrite physics for 1 times 1 equals 1, bro. Any number times itself becomes itself. It's only when it's multiplied by a different variable, it becomes something different. Listen, I'm a dumbass. I don't know anything. I'm stupid, okay? I'm a stupid troll. That's all I am, okay? But at least I got some kind of common sense to know when somebody is clearly bullshitting me, dog. That's not how math works. Come on, Terrence. You weren't ready for Oxford, dog.
It's 4 quarters times 4 quarters, and you give that person $4. They can say to another person, $1 times $1 is 100 pence times 100 pence. That person gets $100. So that money is generated. And this is all legal. Do you think it's not happening in the banks?
Why are we talking about
This
banks?
Is
Why are we talking about banks, man? You see how he tries to reach out to all these different industries just to make a point? You're not even keeping it on task. You were talking about the fundamental particles and how it relates to the flower of life. And now we're talking about banking? Like, oh, God damn it, bro. Come on, man. What you smoking on? What you smoking? I know what I'm smoking on. What you smoking on?
what 1 times 1 equaling 1 has got us.
What
This
the fuck?
inconsistency of our monies and our economy is sitting in the balance. And the rest of our future is sitting in the balance because our science has been stunted as a result of the problems in mathematics, because math asks for the basic laws of physics to break down in order for 1 times 1 to equal 1.
What? Math, particularly calculus, and I fuck with calculus, so don't fuck with me on this, okay? It literally explains everything. Motion. Calculus explains all of that, okay? Math was written to explain the world around us, kind of like code in a computer, right? How it only reads numbers. The exact same thing. When an apple dropped on Newton's head, okay, that was motion. And the reason why it bothered Newton and he was obsessed to figure it out, because he had to understand how to explain why this apple fell from a fucking tree. And he invented calculus. He invented calculus to explain why shit falls down, to explain gravity. Hold the fucking French toast door, nigga. I'm not done. That's what it was created. So for you to fucking say that math had to be rewritten to explain the fact that 1 times 1 equals 1, nigga, what are we talking about here? What the fucking? No, it's not the opposite way, bro. Stop thinking brand new. Stop it. Math, okay, explains our reality. It makes it easier, right? It takes religion, it takes ideology, it takes all the noise and distraction of the world outside of it. It just focuses on the numbers, kind of like certain people's businesses, right? We want to focus on the numbers, the profit loss statements, the balance sheets, the income, cash flow. We have to explain the numbers because people can go online and say pretty words, but it's very difficult for them to prove the numbers, like Terrence Howard.
0 to equal nothing. Laws of conservation of energy has to disappear. And math is the foundating laws of math is supposed to support the laws of physics. They are arm in arm. They cannot be in controversy with each other. So we need an audit on the platonic solids. We need an audit on the square root of 2. And we need an audit on action and reaction. Or we either got to get rid of, we say 1 times 1 equals 1, and there's no action and reaction. One or the other.
What are you talking about? By taking the variable 1 and multiplying it by 1, that is by definition an action. And the result, which is 1, is the reaction. What are we doing? Are people literally this stupid? I'm sorry, like, is this what happens when we go on the internet and spend time on the internet for too long? Did we just get this dumb where we forget how, like, literally the laws describing how your world works right now, we try to upend that? Is that what this is? What are we doing? What are we doing, dog? You mean, like, no, math was not rewritten to explain 1 times 1 equals 1, okay? 1 plus 1 or times 1, whatever you're doing, you're taking a variable and you're basically acting upon it, and the equals, meaning the result, is the reaction. So it does, by definition, proves Newton's law of motion. I think it was his third law. Every action equals an opposite or equal reaction. 1 multiplied by itself equals 1, which is itself, which is an equal reaction. Equals, motherfucker, equals. Did you skip calculus? And it's not even calculus. This is basic algebra. Like, nigga, what? Like, I think the internet's fucking us up. Guys, the internet's fucking us all up. We're getting stupid, bro. We got the world at our fucking fingertips, and we're acting dumb. Like, this is...
And until we make that change, we're in trouble. We're going to be stunted as a species.
Great. Should we open up to questions from the audience?
No, I don't want to talk to them.
Yeah, I know why. Yeah, because, some of them has questions. So I'm going to skip to the part because actually it's true. If you guys want to go watch the whole thing, literally just type in on YouTube, Terrence Howard, Oxford University. You can watch the full one. It's more hilarious than you can realize. But we're going to skip a huge chunk of it because a woman, a strong, brave woman. Let's give her a round of applause. Thank you. A strong, smart, black woman basically presses him on his 1 + 1 mathematics, okay? And we don't see Terrence Howard get pushed on his own ideologies, his own little theories, right? Because what they do here is this guy, I don't know who he's interviewing with, but this guy kind of gave him like what do you call it? A softball, right? He's actually kind of helping him because it's Terrence Howard. You're not gonna make him look stupid at Oxford, even though he's making himself look stupid at Oxford. But they were like, hey, do you want to answer a question about the math shit that you were just bringing up, or do you want to talk about like celebrity? The bunch of people that we're gonna be skipping over. We're talking about his celebrity status, how to be a celebrity. I think one guy came up there and says, "Oh, my brother raps, bro. Do you want to listen to his mixtape, bro? Would you want to?" Right. And in another case, this dude pulled a Saint the Sinner. He met up with a real one, and instead of asking questions, wanted to basically fuck his brother or take selfies. So we actually go up to a woman, a strong black woman, who says, "You know what? I'm gonna push this nigga on these numbers. What is he talking about?" Let me skip right there. There we go. Let's enjoy this. It's gonna be fun. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
Of an actor. But my question actually has to do with your numbers theory. So if by your logic you say 1 × 1 = 2, are you insinuating that 1 × 0 then equals 1?
Equals 1. Well, that's what
No! Anything times nothing equals nothing. Because there's nothing there. 1 times 0 is 0. 2 times 0 is 0. 3 times 0 is 0. 355 30 times 0 is 300. Not 300 is 0. I'm sorry. I'm drunk. Anything multiplied by itself becomes itself because there can only be one of it. Anything multiplied by 2 is double, so it becomes itself plus another version of it. Times 3, it goes on. Anything multiplied by 0 becomes 0. This nigga basically said 1 times 0 is 1. Oh my God. You weren't ready for the system. And you were not, absolutely not ready for Oxford, my G.
Identity principle, the identity property, it says that 1 times nothing equals nothing. So now you have the laws of physics have to now adjust because something just disappeared. Conservation of energy, energy can't be created or destroyed. So if 1 times 0 equals 0, then what happened to the energy of the 1? Isn't that the same problem that Stephen Hawking was talking about with the event horizon and the information going in and still being present, that conflict that was started? Well, that's because of the math. The principles in the math are not founded on truth. It's not founded on substance.
What are you talking about? That's not how math literally was invented to explain the world in an unbiased way. The most unbiased way you can explain the world without religion, without dogma, without ideologies, it's math, because the numbers will make sense. You're saying the math we've known all this entire time is wrong? Just to push your theories, dog? Oh, God. Oh, God. I don't know what's happening. Terrence, what happened, dog? You want that stuff, my nigga? You want that stuff? Why are you sweating like that, dog? You want that stuff? Why are we doing this? This is crazy.
Identity principle, anything times 0 is 0, and anything times 1 is 1. Where is that number? Where is that exemplified in nature or in universal phenomena? Is it? Do you see that?
Zanny, I know he's talking about energy, but energy's also explained by math, which he's conflating with he's conflating a lot of different principles in one just to make a point. You got to understand this. It is too much to really break down, and I had too much in me. But if you guys want to actually do a stream on this, literally, we'll get Engineer Duke in the building, and we'll explain some of this shit, because I actually know a lot of the stuff that he's trying to explain. Believe me, I know it. I'm just baffled that he made it to Oxford. That's why I think that a lot of this was disingenuous, because like they for real let this man come up here with trinkets and a map about the fucking flower of life to re-explain math. Okay, I get what he's trying to explain with energy, but like it's not working, bro. Like you're not convincing nobody, bro.
So then, are you saying that 1 times 5 would be 6?
Yes. Well, what does it say in the associative and commutative thing?
So you're
if A and B are
proposing-
positive integers, it says if A and B are positive integers, A is to be added to itself as many times as is indicated by units in B.
So you're not proposing an audit. You're proposing like a
Well, I'm not the first one
reconstruction
to
of
say
the way
we
we
need to do
understand.
Thank you, sister. I'm glad she educated us. Shout out to her. All right, because you're not asking for an audit, bruh. You're asking for a revamp of the mathematical system that we've built, like that has explained physics so far. You realize without this mathematical model that we have right now, space travel won't be possible. Cell phones won't be possible. GPS wouldn't be possible. A lot of the things that we take for granted right now, even telling time, wouldn't be possible. Being able to coordinate these live streams wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for the math we have today. So if you got to ask yourself this question, if everything we're doing, the technology that we have, if it was so spot on that it's accurately not only able to explain our physics and what's going on right now, but also able to help us build certain machines that enables us to track its movements and basically properly explain it without religion, dogma, and all these other different ideologies, wouldn't you agree that this is real? Why would we need to revamp a system that already works, that it already explains the life we live, the universe we exist in, the laws of motion? That's all physics and calculus, dog. What are you gonna revamp it to? What's the new kind of math? Because there's a lot of people you're gonna have to re-educate. I would tell you that right now. And what does that physics look like? Does it explain matter in the way we have it right now? Does it expand? God damn it. I don't want to go too deep, bro. Let's just keep going.
And math.
You know what's interesting? In 1856, a man from Liverpool named Richard
Tony Ocasio, I love your comment, and you're absolutely right. And Einstein built that theory of relativity off of the law of motion from Newton. Like I said, we're all standing on shoulders of giants, right? So Newton had the law of motion, right? Say, hey, listen, this shit falls. That means there's something pulling it down. It's got to be gravity. So he invented calculus to explain that, right? And then GPS, time, and all that, the theory of relativity, it's an expounded version off of the law of motion. That's what it is. So that's where Einstein got it from. But apparently everyone got the memo but Terrence Howard. What the fuck, dude?
Dover Statter challenged the Dewey Decimal System and said that it was wrong, and created an entirely new system to show how it can be brought into correction. So I'm not the first person to state this. It's a number of people.
What he's talking about is M string theory. String theory is the new thing. M theory was disbanded. String theory is the new method that they're going with, meaning basically that the universe that we all exist in is basically, if you break it down to even subatomic particles and beyond that, it's all strings that vibrate at different frequencies, which make the different type of platforms and solids that we see here today, right? A frequency, a string vibrating at a vibration that's either higher or lower can create a molecule like water, or it can create an element like, something completely different. Ultimately, we're all vibrational strings. And here's the crazy thing. Within those strings, there are also dimensions within those streams curled up within each other, right? So it's basically string theory explains the idea of dimensions curved up within dimensions. So right now we exist in a three-dimensional plane. I hope you guys can follow me because I'm drunk too, but I can explain this to, right? Admit that we live in a three-dimensional plane. Within the three-dimensional plane, there's also curved dimensions that curve within itself, right? So for instance, if I were to hold my little vape stick right here, right now, to me, I'm holding it. It's a three-dimensional shape. I can see the little length right over here. I can see the width right over here. All right, and I can see the height. Although it's not tall, that tall, I can see all of that. But from your perspective, right, you could just see a flat two-dimensional surface, a flat little line. So to you, right now, it's a flat two-dimensional surface. But let's say I had a bug crawling alongside this little vape pen I have right here. That particular bug can access the length, it can access the full width, it can access the height of this particular dimension. So even though I'm existing right now in the third dimension, there is another additional dimension that's curled up within our dimension, and it goes higher. So even within the three dimension, there's a fourth dimension. Now, some people like to include time as part of it, but it's basically the three dimension curved in on itself. So basically, imagine if I can turn myself inside out at will, right? I can completely flip my inside outside at will. That's the fourth dimension, right? That's basically me being able to see through. I can see through walls. If you were able to actually live in a fourth dimension, you can see through shit. The fifth dimension, it goes up and up and up and so on and so forth. Are y'all following me so far? Y'all following me so far? Basically, we're all dimensions that are part of higher or lower dimensions is what string theory tries to explain. And this guy's conflating that with a bunch of different other theories. That's the simplest way I can explain it, being drunk. But if you guys want to do another stream on that, we could talk about it, because realistically, I'm gonna tell you this: instead of talking about women and how the men can get women, I want to talk about like real knowledge shit. Like, this is the shit that I get excited about. Like, I'm gonna tell you this: for the 27 or the 23 or the 20-30 people who are watching, I'm glad you guys don't only want to see people flaunt their clout, people flaunt their flame or wealth. I'm glad you guys actually want to learn about this shit, because I love learning about this shit. I love science. I love math. I love physics. This is my fucking element, bro. If anything, if we weren't talking about bitches, I want to be talking about this, because this is more fun. But I know, I get it. It's YouTube. Some of y'all come here for the girls. Some of y'all come here for the money. I ain't got money. Don't look at me, all right? I got knowledge and I got a mic. That's all it is. So if y'all want to do a stream on that, we can do that. But we could, like, literally, I would love to talk about this and break that down, like string theory versus M theory. M theory essentially kind of focuses on a point where it's kind of like string theory, but it's not the fact that the dimensions are curled up within each other, is that they're like higher dimensions. And when you get to the 10th or 11th dimension, all of the dimensions that it could ever include consist within that first point. So realistically, the 11th dimension, which M theory stops at, the 11th dimension can actually simultaneously be the first dimension, because the first dimension being a point, being the singularity, encompasses every single thing that could possibly exist within that point. It's just that that point isn't aware of the physical space outside of it. The same thing when you get into the 11th dimension that encompasses the first dimension, encompasses the second dimension, encompasses the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, all the way up to 10th, and that all can be its own physical point. But then you got a problem with M theory, right? If that point of that being called the 11th dimension encompasses all within its own dimension, but also simultaneously that can also be the first dimension, what's outside the 11th dimension? And you can't really solve M theory without going higher and higher and higher in dimensions, right? So string theory was kind of born outside of that to kind of like answer certain questions. But I would like to talk about this stuff, man. I'm like, I would tell you this, bro. When Satan says we're nerds, he's not joking. We're like for real nerds out here. We could talk particle physics, we could talk laws of motion, we could talk about a lot of different things. That's how we expose your dumbass, because we know a lot about a lot. So it's not like we just like say you're talking. Like, we actually know shit. You're dealing with niggas who ain't stupid, bro. So like, if y'all want to have these kind of conversations, I'm more than willing to help you out, because I would much rather talk about this than women or money. Like, let's be real, because a lot of this shit it actually applies to the real world. Let's just be real, right? The molecules in this fucking alcohol I'm drinking, bro. I'm drunk as fuck, and I'm still explaining physics to you, nigga. What? Call me a fucking addict, dog. Come on, bro. Let's continue.
People did it, but look up Richard Dover Statter. Try and find him. You won't find him because he's been erased from history almost. But what is the thing called, honey? It's called the Dewey Decimal System as a whole. The Dewey Decimal System as a whole. And you will see that we are headed to, the Titanic is headed to an iceberg over there. With our numbers. If we don't make a change soon, we're going to crash as a species.
How?
Our math needs to work in order for our
Sorry, one last question. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
Do you think it's our do you think that the reason that we have like economic crises, for example, is because we are not understanding our numbers correctly according to your theory?
Hey, this woman is about to set him up, and she did it so beautiful. This is crazy. This is fucking crazy. He falls for it, dog.
We have an economic problem because we are the only creatures in this universe that use currency. There are no other creatures that use currency in order to exist. Why is it that we chose this strange thing that isn't even real? Other creatures, they drink water, they eat fruit, they eat other animals. We exchange with currency, and our system of exchanging with currency is flawed because of greed.
No, it's because, and here's another route that I can go through and explain. It's called the monetary system. How that fucking started is, here's the thing. We initially started with the barter system, right? Where I have eggs and you have a fucking cow. I need to figure out how many eggs it's going to equal the one cow, right? Now, here's the thing. What if you run into another merchant or you run into another person you would like to trade with, but that particular person has, maybe they don't have a cow, but they have a couple horses, right? Maybe they want your eggs, but then, how is that trade going to work? So for a while, the barter system, is great for basic level civilization. But as you start to go up and civilization starts to expand and evolve, you're going to need a different type of a system that equalizes all of that, right? So they had gold, they had iron, they had different types of precious metals that they were able to trade with each other. And this was the first basis of currency, right? But here's another problem with that that type of currency. With that particular problem is no one wants to run around lugging a bunch of gold. No one wants to run around lugging a bunch of precious metals, because around that point in time, you can get burglarized, you can lose the money. There's no really a safe haven for basically storing your value, right? So in came the invention of banks. Actually, banks are a necessary institution. So for those of you guys who see liberals out there or people, certain conservatives saying, oh, we need to get rid of the banks. No. Banks are an absolutely important institution because they're actually fundamental to a human civilization. So banks were invented essentially to not even invented, they were created to basically say, hey, instead of you having to carry out all your freaking money and shekels and whatever it is that you used to trade with other parties, right? Well, now, here's the thing. We can solve both problems. We can also say, hey, listen, instead of having to trade eggs and cows and horses and shit, just trade them what the equivalent will be in these coins, right? But also, you don't have to travel dangerous terrain or long distances holding all your precious wealth, you can actually just store it here and we'll give you an IOU equivalent of what you have stored with us. So that way you can carry these papers, and as long as you bring these papers back, they will be basically minted for whatever you have value you have within our system here. All right. And that's how banks were created. Now, if you want to get to the like technicalities of what he's talking about, okay, that's the evolution of banks. So when banks have all these different money, they start venturing into what's called, and we're talking about modern times now, but they start venturing into what's called fractional reserve lending. And with fractional reserve lending, it basically means that, first of all, banks realize that holding money in reserves, they can also fund other businesses, right? And also make a profit, because banks also have to make money. And they do this based off of interest rates, okay? Interest rates is one of the most important ways a bank can make money. So they loan out the money, and this is important, it's the money they actually have in the bank, right? So they don't loan out more than what they don't even have in reserves. So when they loan out the money, they make interest on that. See, guys, what you don't understand, banking used to be a very, very boring and tedious job. It didn't really used to have any freaking excitements like the banking you see of today. The banking excitement that you see of today comes from fractional reserve lending. And with fractional reserve lending, it basically means that governments conspired to basically lower the threshold of dollar amount that banks need to have in reserves in order to lend out money to fund businesses. So essentially, a bank can have $1 in its reserve and loan out $100, which is almost 100 times at what it actually has sitting in reserves, which obviously you can see when people all of a sudden coming back and wanting their money back, you already loans out hundreds of thousands of dollars, but you only have not a whole lot in reserves. You can see how bank runs can start to, ruin economies, and people can kind of start to get distrustful, things like that. So that's ultimately what he's trying to explain about the financial system. Also, again, that's another thing we could talk about. If you guys want a topic on that, we can also cover that too as well. Like I said, I know a little bit about a lot. So you're not just dealing with average niggas over here. But let's continue.
There's not like if 1 times 1 equals 2, we've got an equilibrium of balance. 1 times 1 equals 1, you've got loss. When 1 times 1 equals 3 or more, you're talking about over unity and supersymmetry. And that's how you get the universe to work for you. Instead of using just the solar voltaics off of it, you also use the piezoelectric effects of it. You use other things to make greater unity. But
what? Like what, Terrence? Like what?
When it could also equal pound times a pound equaling a pound, when it could also equal $4 or $10 or $100. Does that make sense to you? Do you think the banks are abusing that? What's a quarter times a quarter? If I ask you
a quarter,
what's a quarter times a quarter?
A quarter.
That's 25 times 25. The computer will the calculator will tell you 6.25 cents. But we know 25 pence times 25 pence is 625 pence. That's 6 pounds and 25 pence, but the computer or the banks only have to give you 6.25 cents reference for it. Or let's say you put a dime times a dime. Go ahead, let me get this out. Say you put a dime times a dime. You put that in your calculator, it says 1 cent. 0.10 times 0.10 is 1 cent. But we know a dime times a dime is a whole dollar. But the bank...
You're mixing two different types of math, okay? Currency math and algebra, bro. That's not how that works. Okay, what you're trying to say is, okay, anything times itself, meaning anything times 1, it becomes itself. Anything times the equivalent, it's actually squared, all right? It's a double of itself. So when you're saying a quarter times a quarter, yes, it's equal double that because you're times it by itself. If you said quarter times 1, it's a quarter. What you're doing is squaring shit right now. Okay, that's squared. And when you times it 3 times, it becomes cubed. You times it 4 times, it's a quarter to the 4th power. And you keep going and you keep going. But when you multiply things by 1, it becomes itself. So you can't conflate that to multiplying things by itself. If I double myself, I become 2, not 1. If I times myself by the one person that's me, I'm the only one here. So it's 1 Duke. I don't like, you're conflating way too many math, bro. And this is how pseudo intellectuals try to sound. So when I call out guys like Roll Tomasi, you can say, oh, Duke, how can you call out guys like Roll Tomasi and all these other fake fucks, right? I understand when people are trying to be pseudo intellectuals. I can read that very, very well. It's very easy to read that. He's trying to sound like a pseudo-intellectual by bringing all these different types of math and all these different types of scenarios to try to go ahead and like fuse them together to say, hey, we need a reason for different types of math. You know, the type of physics that explains the world we live in today. What are you talking about, Terrence? Terrence, come on, man. Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Gives us money based on that evaluation. Is that fair? And I might get shot about talking about this right now.
Nigga, who's gonna shoot you?
I've got a book coming out called Does a Dollar Times a Dollar Equal a Dollar?
There it is. We finally get to the heart of the issue. It's the money. This motherfucker has a book coming out. That's why he decided that it was a great idea to go to Oxford to try to disprove math to Oxford graduate students. You're trying to disprove math because you got a book coming out. This is how modern day celebrity works. All right. Modern day celebrity and influencers, right? This is how they operate. When they have some kind of big project and they need clout for, they do dumb shit like this. This nigga, you are doing this for a book? Who's going to buy it? You completely butchered math. You didn't even get the math right. Who's going to buy your books? But at least we get it to the heart of the issue, people. It's never been about the fucking math. It's never been about the 40 years of experience. It's never been anything about that. It's the book this motherfucker has coming out right now. I'm sorry, Terrence, but we got to expose that. I don't give a fuck who you are. We got to expose that. You can't deny math because your ass got a book coming out. It's just not how math works. It's not how the world works, motherfucker. That's not how that shit flies. Okay? If you're going to dispute math, you need equal evidence so you can get opposite reaction. Okay? Right now, the reaction is pretty stale. It's pretty same because your math doesn't add up. But we know why it doesn't add up because your math equals book sales. That's what it is. So I guess in a way, we all kind of got the wrong equation from it, Terrence Howard. But I want y'all to understand why we're playing this video in the first place, right? Why we talked about Saint the Sinner in the first place, right? Because this man exudes a lot of the same behavior that celebrity culture exudes here today, right? It's the same thing. They try to repackage shit make it sound better or different than what already exists and try to use it not on the basis of helping you out, not on the basis of educating you, but the basis of basically trying to sell you things, okay? This is the difference between motherfuckers who are real and motherfuckers who are pushers. We're going to play a little bit more of this just to have fun with it, but I don't know about y'all. I think we uncovered the truth today.
Does a dollar times a dollar equal $2? And in the process, not only do I explain the death of the Platonic solids, but I also introduce the new Terrian wave conjugations that replace this Euclidean way of life. And
that's definitely enough to convince a group of Oxford students. The little shit you got in your Prada bag right over there. The little trinkets you got in your Prada bag is enough to convince the rest of the world that gravity doesn't exist and math is wrong. I'm so dumbfounded. And you'll find people on the internet that says, hey, yo, Terrence was right. Man, I'm about to go buy his book, man. Y'all don't know shit, man. Y'all don't understand the spiritual world. Mind you, I just explained the flower of life. I literally just explained that. I rock with that theory too, but there it is. It's just a theory. All right. When you started getting the particle colliders and hadron colliders and things like that, right? And you could prove like the God particle exists based off the neutrinos it gives off, right? Then guess what? You can sway me from believing in your hypothesis to maybe believing in your theory and hopefully becomes law. But other than that, you're talking bullshit just to sell a book, dog. That's it. But you didn't prove anything with the little trinkets you got in your Prada purse. I'm sorry.
And gives us a three-dimensional way of seeing the world. That's what I'm saying. Do you want to see the world in 2D or do you want to see it in 3D?
Thank you.
Because our math right now is 2D. Our math.
No! I'm done.
I want the world in and multicolor spectrum.
That's what physics explains. Physics is also math, so is calculus. Calculus and physics are two different things. Physics is just, okay, I'm too drunk for this. But physics and calculus explain the 3D world. They even explain motion. They calculate the laws of motion. Newton invented calculus to explain the fact an apple dropped from a tree, to explain why an apple would feel the need to fall rather than just break off its branch and just hover there, right? He invented calculus to explain why that happened. Falling is a three-dimensional act as well as a two-dimensional act, but realistically it's more displayed in three-dimensional. So we already have the math exist. So I don't know what you're advocating for, bruh, but you're wrong. And this is how when celebrities develop this weird God complex, bro, when they develop this complex of they know better, they know right, or whatever the fuck it is, bro, this is how they could be wrong. This is how they could be wrong on a lot of things, bro. And, you know, I guarantee you they're fans of his right now. They're listening to this shit and say, oh, Terrence, oh! You so right, Terrence. I'm gonna go buy your books right now. No different than how motherfuckers listen to these fake gurus online. So from celebrity culture to the goddamn manosphere, these fake fucks are everywhere. And Terrence, I'm not saying that you're fake. I'm just saying that you literally explained in a live stream how you lied all your life out to the point that lies stopped being lies anymore and tried to rewrite the fucking laws of physics. Okay, you're capping harder than anything right now I've ever seen. You copy harder than Lord Marquardt. Okay, you copy harder than him right now, and he literally spent the whole day responding to someone that wasn't even me, bro. That's how crazy that shit was. I wasn't even there, yet this motherfucker made money off of our channel, bro, which I think is hilarious. But there you go. Hey, Terrence Howard, what I just gave you is an example of what an action, meaning asking questions that make sense, right, equals an opposite or equal reaction, meaning some sus shit, some trolling shit, and some insecure shit, right? And we equal Marquette's platform, okay? And listen, brother, I'm just saying, I'm not saying that you any one of these celebrities, because you'll never amount to that, neither you or anyone else that really kind of does all that stuff in your channel, because we just kind of watched how you finessed the bag, right? You didn't even leave the channel up. Leave it up so we can respond to it properly, because you got your ass fucking clowned by a troll. Listen, we had the same troll in our chat and we didn't do shit. Like, the nigga left, and they left when serious shit started to happen. You see what I'm saying? Like, bro, you and I are built different. I'm not fake. You are. It is what it is. I just need you to answer certain questions, all right? Like my man, Terrence Howard. But the difference between you and Terrence Howard is Terrence Howard at least is willing to display his bad ideas for the world to see, at least Oxford University and eventually the world. But you keep dodging questions, Marquette. Like, do you want me to go deeper? Because we got receipts that can go deeper if they don't buy in this channel first. So, guys, I don't know if this channel is going to get canceled. You already saw the stuff in our community tab. Oh, by the way, the live stream that I put up basically explaining this dude trolling, we are going to take it down if he doesn't leave that if he doesn't put it up within the next 24 hours. We'll take that response live stream down. So go ahead and check it out right now before it gets taken down, if he doesn't put that one up, because there's no sense in leaving a live stream up that he was too scared to leave up. So I don't know how I'm the bitch when, you know, you took it down when you realized that you responded to a troll literally for an hour and a half, and you made money off of these idiots that believe that was actually me trolling you. I like to talk about serious shit aside women. I like to talk. I have other things that I like to talk about. I have a lot going on in my brain, okay? And women are just an afterthought. And I'm not saying this for you ladies out there. I know you ladies are listening. I'm not saying it just for you. I know. Listen, y'all already know how I get down. I love y'all, especially the one behind the scenes that got the sexy voice. I really love her. I wouldn't even jack, bro. I love her voice. I think it's wonderful. I think it's beautiful. It's very attractive. I really hope her face matches, but I really find that voice sexy. I can only imagine. Damn, I can only imagine how that voice would sound, if you know what I mean. But I don't want to get too lost in the fucking thoughts. I'm just saying there's a bunch of shit that we can talk about, right? I don't want to talk about women. Women aren't fucking important to me, man. They're really not. It's never been a top priority. It's never really been. Understanding the world, understanding how to survive and succeed is what makes me top priority right now, right? So all this shit that these guys are trying to teach you how to do, I've been doing it since I was 19. Like, I didn't need a book. I didn't need a fucking sales coach. I didn't need anyone to make me a six-figure earning man. I did that when I was 19 selling cars. I did that when I was selling cars. I did that. I don't need to do any of that stuff. I don't need to come out here and brag and do all that shit. I already did it when I was younger. So when you guys come up here and brag about all this shit, you're literally talking about stuff niggas already did a long time ago. Evolve with me, nigga, and have your chat evolve with them too. If you really want them to be successful, they don't need to go through your drop shipping platform in order to do it. Niggas go learn how to sell. I didn't pay for a course. The only course I paid for when I was starting up my marketing business. And I realized that I got scammed. Actually, if anything else, if you want to know why I got a battery in my back against a lot of these fake gurus, because I got scammed. Because I bought a marketing course that somebody basically touted to be the best all-encompassing marketing course that anybody was ever going to need. I spent about $2,700 on that bitch, and I was scammed because all that course did was teach me how to sell marketing courses to other people on YouTube. That's all it was. It didn't teach me how to the fundamentals of marketing. It didn't teach me how to run Facebook ads. It didn't teach me how to basically structure my Facebook thumbnails so it can actually get the most clicks. It didn't teach me all of that. It just taught me the building blocks on how to get more people trapped in the same fucking fake guru cycle. And that's when I realized that a lot of internet gurus were frauds because they all follow the same model, including you, Marquette. So I know I got scammed because I was a hopeful nigga like the niggas sitting in your chats, wishing that it can get there, until I realized that what I really wanted wasn't really what I wanted. And I had the power to be me, to make money in me all along. I just needed other situations and other failures to recognize that. People don't need to buy books. People don't need to do different things. I'm not saying that people selling through your course is a bad thing. I actually applauded you for doing that, and I would stand by it because I don't hate you. I actually respect you doing that and helping other people come up. My question is about your business. That's it. But if you're not helping if you're just lording over them and not really helping them up in a way that matters, then we got to talk about it. We do. But from where we're sitting, it sounds mad fake, dog. And we can't really just, unless you come out with them source codes, my nigga, there's really no else point talking about it. Because you still, even in that live stream, have not addressed what you need to address to your audience. And don't make me really drop what I got to drop, because it's not going to look good for you or realistically your entire reputation. But maybe your reputation might stay intact because you got stand boys, right? But it's not going to look good. There's just too much questions regarding how you made it, bro. There's too much questions. And unless you're willing to answer, I don't know what else to tell you. And from your live stream that you just took down, and I just played it to you guys during the 40-minute section we gave to this nigga, right? Oh, consider us fans. We're huge fans. Giving you another 10-minute section at the end of the video here. It was, you didn't explain anything. You didn't explain anything. Nothing. You just more lies, more deflection, like Mr. Terrence Howard over here. More lies and deflection, bro. Nothing real, nothing substantive, right? I'm just saying, you ridicule 30 people in the chat, but we're the same motherfuckers that have the loudest voices. Listen, I don't think you really understand how power works. The few can definitely outclass the many. Matter of fact, it's the many who are the ones who are sheeps, and it's the few that are capable enough, who are strong enough to lead the many out of the fucking sheephood that you put them in. That's how this shit works. We don't need critical mass to be great. We just need a few strong few to make it happen. And tone deaf, narcissistic, egotistical maniacs like you with a God complex would never understand this shit. You're not building a movement, nigga. Get that shit out of your head right now. You're building a fucking cult. That's it. A cult around the saint and the sinner, Lord Marquard. And anyone else who thinks outside of that is a fake, nigga, I'm on your ass now. Bring that same shit. So if this channel doesn't get canceled by the end of the night, guys, go ahead and watch that live stream. Basically, me responding to the fact that Marquette was responding to a troll and making money off of those trolls, thinking that was me in the chat, which it wasn't me. But other than that, Grovery, shout out to you for the super chat. Had to support my G, just that simple. We recognize hustle game in Bay. My G, no echo chambers, just pure hard work. Absolutely. Hey, absolutely, man. You don't go to you don't go to 0 to 1.7 million views in like 5 months with just fucking echo chambers, bro. You don't do that. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't think you guys understand. Our channel is brand freaking new, and we making all these damn waves. And you're gonna call us small? I don't think you understand how influence works. We may be a small channel in comparison to you, Marquand. In comparison to you, we may be small, but we got a lot of influence in this space. A lot of influence. Niggas you've collabed with, we've already done it. We have a lot of influence. We don't need to have numbers. You know what I tell y'all? My spirit animal is a jaguar. And the reason why my spirit animal is a jaguar, guys, it's not a lion like these motherfuckers like to call themselves, or a cheetah, or all these other, fancy animals, or even a tiger, right? The reason why I choose a jaguar and why I think you guys represent jaguars, because if you look at the whole feline kingdom as a whole, right? The whole feline kingdom as a whole, people think about the lion being the king of the jungle. If you really think about it, lions don't live in jungles. They live on plains, right? In savannas and shit. Tigers live in jungles. So if you really think about it, the tiger is the king of the jungle. If you guys, but I digress. Okay, we're gonna get too far away from it. But the lion is the king of the jungle. Most people want to be a lion, right? When they talk about alpha males, it's usually represented with a lion, right? But the lion isn't the strongest in the feline kingdom. It's actually the tiger. The tiger has the strongest power for pound power in the feline kingdom, right? That's it. It's not it. But here's the thing. Who has the strongest bite? It's not the lion. The lion doesn't have the strongest bite in the animal kingdom. It's not that. It's not the tiger either. The tiger does not have the strongest bite in the animal kingdom. It's not that. It's the jaguar. The jaguar, it's not as big as a tiger, it's not as big as a lion, it's not as scary as a lion, but it's very agile. It can swim, it can hunt underwater, meaning there's no depth you can go, it can't follow you, nigga. It can climb trees, meaning there's no height you can't go that it can't follow you, nigga, if it wanted to. And what the most important thing that a jaguar can ever possess is the most powerful bite in the feline kingdom. It doesn't have to be the biggest. It doesn't have to be the strongest. It doesn't have to be the most versatile or powerful or fastest. It just has to pack the strongest punch. And with this channel, we're able to do that with a lot of you fake fucks out there. That's why y'all running scared and y'all mad. We fucking jaguars out here, nigga. We don't give a fuck. I don't care how deep you go, we'll find you. I don't care how high you fly, we'll catch you. And when we catch you in our fucking jaws, nigga, it's a wrap. And you, Marquette, you're in this fucking jaw right now, nigga. It's a wrap. Consider it a courtesy. A common courtesy.